let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safer Liquid Beer of the Week podcast.
Be right again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
Hello!
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielsen Show. Let's go. Everybody's tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack at 6 o'clock and log in with some sirloin bites.
Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Tombstone Tuesday. Howlud indeed. What's going on? Thank you very much for being here. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, where it is simply delicious. Try the blackened chicken sandwich. They got the wings over there at Popeyes now as well. The regular chicken sandwich, all of the delicious sides. And, huge supporters of what we're doing here at Edmonton Sports Talk, huge supporters and partners of the Edmonton Oilers as well. And overall, just pretty good people. Just pretty good people coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios. Lieutenant Eric, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm looking for a sheriff. I need a sheriff this morning. Is anybody?
I didn't bring it.
You gotta be kidding me.
I didn't bring my sheriff's badge. My
I noticed
Tombstone
you have
sheriff's
the
badge.
shirt. I was like,
do
wait,
have
he's ready to
you're
go.
You're a Daisy if you do shirt on, but yeah. Sorry, everybody. You got to text me the night before.
I know. Well, I told you. We mentioned it yesterday, and you're like, yeah, it's.
You know, the worst part
happening.
is it's sitting right on my printer in the office, right next to the crack pack desk. And I literally walk by it every day like 3 times. And I look and I go, oh, yeah, I got to bring that in. Oh, yeah, I got to bring that in. Oh, yeah, I got to bring that in. And then I never remember, but I want the badge. I want the sheriff's badge right here. I want to get it for all of us, you know?
Something you just keep in your truck, I would think, hey?
Roll
around that truck, flash that badge every once in a while.
Yeah, I get pulled over. I go, excuse me, sir. I'm a Tombstone sheriff. he might just go, well, you're a Daisy if you do.
And then he gets back
walk
in his,
away.
yeah.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me, which is nice. We got lots to get to on the show today. What you got? Anything exciting last night? I watched the Thunder and Lakers. What a performance by the Lakers last night. That was great.
Well, I watched Brendan Botcher come up short in a draw for the win, suffering his first loss.
Is that what happened there? A draw for the win?
Yeah, and coming up just short. Northern Ontario, though, they're punching above their weight in this. It's been a fun Briar thus far, but yes, I did a couple
catch
more
a bit.
matches.
I caught a bit of Gushu and Kui last night.
Kui's done.
What is going? This has to be one of the most disappointing Briars for anybody ever with what's happened with Kui this
1-4, they fall 8-3 to Brad Gushu in Team Canada, and you can't really single anybody out. The whole rink just below normal levels. So 1-4 for Kui. Slachinski ranked 2-2. They entered today's play. They're in the afternoon draw against Saskatchewan, and Botcher in the evening draw. He'll be up against Matt Dunstone's Manitoba. So a lot of good games as well on tap for today. That's what I did. That's all I did.
Just watch curling.
And I caught a bit of I did a bit of a Bill Belichick, on the Bruins, right? You
Well, I pre-scout
scouting mission, right? As you do, right?
Bruins pre-scout. I mean, who's not pre-scouting the Bruins?
Right.
Nice win for the Bruins.
Yeah.
Maple Leafs have been absolutely rolling, so they go into Toronto, pick up the win. and now back home quickly to face your Edmonton Oilers. You can hit us up anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. I just have to say, what a great idea it was for Paris Jewelers to hop on the inbox sponsorship. That gets a lot of run. The Paris Jewelers inbox gets a lot of run on the show. This is a brilliant move by the team over at PJ's, our partners. Go to parisjewelers.com. They got some flexible financing options that could include not paying until the year 2025. That's in the future if you get excited about that type of stuff. And they got lots of fancy, shiny things. No. Not just for the ladies. They got jewelry for men, too.
And I think you can trust a jeweler when they're smart enough to hop on something like the inbox.
Yeah.
They're
smart.
They know what they're doing.
The ring box, the bling box.
The bling box.
It's the Paris Jewelers inbox. That could be a little jingle. That could be a little jingle.
John T, if you're listening.
It's the ring box. It's the bling box. It's the Paris Jewelers inbox.
It's got infomercial written all over it.
I like it.
We'll run that between shows on the station.
Yeah. I love this. Nazdarova's texted in a Macramala intro a day early. Macramala's not on until tomorrow usually, but this week he actually has to join us later in the week because he's out of the country for 10 days. But it's still a good Macramala intro. I'm gonna share it. Nazdarova doesn't mess around. I love it. Guys, legal analyst and guy that carries around a bag of marbles looking for a back alley high stakes game. You know what? I guess today's confessions. So I'll just get one out here early if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
I've never technically played a proper game of marbles. Have you?
Can I also get a confession out early this morning? I loved playing marbles when I was a kid. I had a little yeah, the big one.
So what happens? What do you do?
I don't really know. You put all the small ones into a circle, and then you use your big one and you flick it. And if you get the small ones out of the circle, they're yours. It's like Pog. I think that's how we.
Oh, I thought it was the one.
So we bowled.
What was the game with like the little X things? Jacks. What was
what
was that about?
Jacks, yeah.
What do you do there?
You
grab them or something?
bounce the ball while it's in the air. You swipe up as many as you can.
And then you have to catch the ball. Yeah. Now that seems like a fun game to work on your reflexes, you know?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Never played that either. I guess I just didn't play a lot of games on the ground as a child.
Pick up sticks, that type of thing.
Yeah, don't remember that one.
No, you put a bunch of sticks on it, and then you got to pick them up without moving any other.
Are you making that up?
No,
that's the thing
I'll show you. That's a real fun.
Okay.
But not for the sleight of hand. You got to be real steady.
Yeah, all I did on the ground as a kid was I'd line up hockey cards along the base, and then we'd flick other hockey cards to try to knock them down.
Too,
that was one of my big good ones.
In the 8 o'clock hour, I'll challenge you to a game of knuckles if you want on this.
No, and that's
I'll do.
No. Is that when you would shoot the quarter at the other knuckles?
From boys to men.
Oh man, that was how stupid. How stupid. I remember that. How stupid did we have to be like, all right, you put your knuckles down. I'm gonna fire this quarter in, and then you do the same to me. What? What were we doing? Like now, I guess. Nowadays, weren't kids eating the Tide Pods for a while or something? They were doing the Tide Pod thing. That's also very stupid, but we kind of did a lot of stupid stuff back then.
We all do stupid stuff, right? Before you learn.
Yeah.
Playing with one of those big peso pieces, like a real thick coin.
To really cut it up?
One shot, one kill.
What were you thinking at the time? Like, what's the benefit of that?
We weren't.
My goodness. Sickler in with an early confession as well. I like these early confessions.
Mind the early confessions.
Yeah, no, this is great.
6 o'clock hour, you can get a little more,
Maybe a little more risque if you want. Yeah. Confessions today. I don't know if I can help end the stigma with Charch, as I've never been able to grow a chin strap. I feel shame. That's in from Sickler this morning. Yeah, I mean, you should feel a little bit of shame, buddy. I'm not going to lie to you.
But nice to be an ally here in your non-chin strap growing form.
Yeah, it's nice of you. Did you see Sheldon the other day on Twitter? I retweeted it.
Yes,
he's growing the chin strap. Yes. A nice thin chinny too.
Yeah, I love the thin.
It looks real nice.
I love him thin and I love him wispy.
Speaking of facial hair.
Yeah, right.
YouTube, Trev.
Get the camera.
Was not in with us yesterday morning. Trev, get your shot on here because we gotta.
Okay, bear with me 1 second here. I didn't set it up. I didn't think you guys were.
What do you mean we didn't think we were gonna go to you today?
Okay, wait.
Trev's
I just gotta
get it set up. Let me know when you got it set up. Trev has shaved off.
Oh gosh, look at me.
His mustache. He's a barefaced baby who's going to grow in a sick chin strap now.
Get right in there. Get
Trev,
that lip right in there.
Let's get a look at you now.
Get that lip in there.
Look at this.
Yeah, there you go.
Man. Holy smokes. What's
it was time, fellas.
What do you like better?
What, chin straps or
No,
mustaches?
the mustache or no mustache.
Oh, I mean, it's weird because when you start growing out the mustache the first 2 weeks, you're like, okay, I totally dig it. I'm feeling this. You look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, okay, I can pull this off. Looks not bad. And then you have it for like 4 months, and then you wake up and it's just the grossest, greasiest thing you'd ever imagine. So, I mean, this is nice. I'm a lot more aerodynamic when I walk. There's not as much drag. I feel good. And it's just waking up. It's nice. I don't have to, do all that extra work, and it's just it's a lot. It really is. So, look at all the comments. You'll love to see it. So, it goes, and like that's the thing. Like playoffs is right around the corner, so it'll be back.
You're going to be bringing back that stash.
Yeah, of course, I'm bringing it back for playoffs, for sure.
All right, so you just got like a month no stash, month and a bit no stash.
Yeah.
Understandable.
It's fine.
Understandable.
That's the longest I had a mustache in my life.
Really?
Like,
I thought you used to be like mustache guy all the time.
No. That was it was weird. It was weird, but it's nice. It's a good change, and I hope
feels like a new man.
Hope the nasties are okay.
Spring is here.
Hey, if you like Trev's bare upper lip, give us a like. Give us a like. And we got to discuss this. Holy smokes!
Well, there will be no more soccer talk on the show ever again.
There simply can't be. There can't be any more soccer talk.
None of your Bundesliga or
show.
your Liga, brought to you by McDonald's, as they are now known.
Is that what it is?
It used to be Uber Eats, and now they've switched the sponsor. See, we're already talking about it too much.
Yeah, we're probably
going to
go on. So this is something. Now on Friday we played Cavis Pump Up song, and we're like, oh, I wonder what happens, and no impact on video, no impact on channel. Yesterday, the hangout's going. Phrase and Crusher are in. Tommy, Matt. Well, great hangout yesterday. If you've not yet downloaded,
Tommy was on fire.
Yeah. Tommy was just kind of sitting there chilling yesterday. It was great. Anyway, I'm sitting. I had wired in. It's something that we say around here when we want to get some work done, just like in the Facebook movie. I was like, boys, I'm going in the boardroom here. I'm going to wire in, get some work done for about an hour and a half between shows.
Wire in.
Yeah, wire in.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, I get a notification on our YouTube channel that our show yesterday morning had been blocked. And I was like, what? What did we do yesterday that would have got us like blocked in all countries? That's the whole world. So I click on it. And for a brief moment yesterday on the show, when you were talking about that one fan losing it on his team,
yes,
Maddie played a video with no sound, even
just the visual
of him ranting on the team. And there was a copyright claim from Bundesliga that ended up getting the video taken off the platform. And then they had to go through these processes, and we had to trim it out and stuff. And then it was back up.
We were deplatformed.
But I couldn't believe it.
You were
I came out and I said to Eric, I said, Bundesliga got us. And now I've got this huge, like bone to grind, axe to grind, bone to pick, whatever it is. With Bundesliga.
Yeah. Davies can't get out of there soon enough.
By far the most ridiculous soccer league I've ever heard of in my entire life.
Oh, the irony in that
That was wild. Can you believe this? The Edmonton Sports Talk versus Bundesliga.
Well, hey, they know about us now, right? Somebody in their offices out in Bochum or whatever it is, Dresden. They're like, what is this EST?
Yeah.
No, sir.
I couldn't believe it, though. I said, what? Of all the things we've done, this is the first one that gets a video taken down. Now you just click on it and it says take action. Take action goes, would you like to trim the video here? I was like, okay. Boom. And then it was back up.
You replatformed yourself.
Yeah, we got back. We got back. Take that, Mr. Beast.
It was a whirlwind hour.
And anyway, I'm putting a pretty big target on Bundesliga's back now.
As you should. It's a terrible league. They treat their teams bad. It's
Good.
Lots of foreign investment. I mean, it's running wild. It's a wild west of money and
really?
People and.
Sounds like they don't have anybody running the shop.
No morals, no nothing in terms of team ownership. And I bid adieu to our soccer talk.
The only thing that has ever been close to getting us taken down was soccer, if you can believe it. So unless you want us to go there again today, you got to hammer the thumbs up.
Play the ice song.
You don't think we got more Bundesliga video clips? That's the ultimate threat right there. But a fun learning experience yesterday for Edmonton Sports Talk. It was all brief. It was like, it was 20 to 30 minutes and everything was back on track.
It's good that these big, faceless organizations and corporations now know the power of us. It might just be a little poke, but they know now. We'll be back if we so choose.
Here we are.
Right?
Here we are. Dave. He texts in under the handle, Dave. He texts in as Dave, but it's in our system as Dave. The war against Bundesliga has started. They will rue the day.
They will.
Yeah. Asked me to Bundesliga when they said that we couldn't play that video.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Lacombe drew to the inbox this morning. Bundesliga? More like Bundesliga.
Send that man to A&W. Get him to A&W.
That could be a text of the day. That could be a text of the day. That's pretty good. 780-218-9999. Text of the day will end up getting their hands on a gift certificate to A&W. That might be a tough one to top, but what should we do in retaliation to Bundesliga? If you have any ideas for us on that one, let's do it. Text of the day for A&W, and like we said, I mean that's a strong start. It's a strong start to the day. Nobody's denying that bad boy right now. A&W introducing their new spicy piri piri buddies, $3.99 each, limited time only at A&W. We're talking spicy piri piri sauce, lettuce, tomato, onions, all served in your choice. Chicken, beef, hash brown patty. Zip through the drive-thru and pick one up. Only at A&W.
Or if you're mad ironic, park as far away as possible. Get out and walk in.
Yeah.
That's what he...
Park as far away as possible.
Well, that's his key to keeping a trim figure. That's what he was saying yesterday with Will in the hangout.
Wait a second. Maddie said, like, he doesn't go through the drive-thru.
He swears off. In fact,
he parks as far away as possible and then walks in.
We don't move enough. Him and Will were talking. It's true. But he won't use the drive-thru. You razz him on that next time.
I knew he didn't use the drive-thru, but I didn't know he parked.
Considers drive-thru as like it's like a sickness on society. You know, that type of thing.
Oh man, how much time did him and Phrase spend on this?
Oh, there's a couple
and
minutes.
Crusher too, and Tommy just
Tommy
sitting there
was looking
like
on.
This is Tommy in the hangout yesterday.
The presence.
Today on the hangout, Derek Van Diest with Tommy Gazzola and
DVD?
Matthew Owanek. DVD's going to be in.
Love it.
Which means there's going to be a lot of good Edmonton Oilers deadline day talk today, which is very exciting. Very exciting.
And we got a 4-game roadie to kick off here.
Big gun. Yeah, well, we'll get into that as we work our way through the show. We got morning announcements coming up and stuff. Hey, fellas, eventually soccer will rule this country. I bet the haters would pay to see the GOAT Messi. Why can hockey guys and soccer guys not just get along?
Who's this idiot?
Yeah, Rob the plumber. Hey, man.
What?
Hey, Rob the plumber, I got to tell you something.
What a dumb take.
Oh, my God.
What a dumb take.
Rob, we love you. We're just messing with you, man. We're just messing with you. 780-218-9999. I want to get to a text that came in from Tommy Rubella earlier today. Here we are, Tommy Rubella. This is a nice little Tommy Rubella's been in a few times today already. Pounding that box early. I like that. That's always a good time. Here we go. Half of my beer league when asked if they're coming to my regular season games. No. The same players as soon as playoffs start.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Like how many of you
Stacking.
just want to sit there and be like, I only want to play the minimum 6 games to be on the playoff roster and then show up for playoffs?
I want somebody, I don't know how many Tombstone clips you got in there. I wouldn't be surprised if you had a few extras kicking around, but some text to use all of them.
Oh my God.
The Tombstone Tuesday stack. We just had an example of two.
Here,
You can do a double
this is
patty.
what you need to work into it. This
Give me
is
the
the 6
monster
that we
burger
got.
here, yeah.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me. How dude. I'm your huckleberry.
No! You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
I think you could do it. I already know the plan. That's a trade.
You have a route here.
That's a
Okay.
trade deadline day back and forth between Jeff Jackson and Ken Holland.
Maybe your Macromella intro mixed in.
100%. Let me see.
That's a
here.
good, yeah.
I might be able to.
Somebody will do this. Somebody will construct this.
Yeah. I'm trying to think here. Ken Holland to Jeff Jackson. I'm thinking about giving up 2 first-rounders for Jess Jackson. Or Jess Jackson.
I'd do it.
For Jake
I'm pulling the
Gensel.
trigger right now.
Why
Yeah.
did I say Jess Jackson? For Jake Gensel.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Well, what about 3 first-rounders for Pavel Buchnevich?
How dude.
You keep going like that, right?
Somebody's going to construct this puppy.
And
I
then
can't
Frankie
wait.
Vetrano knocked on the door and said,
I'm your huckleberry.
so it's Jeff Jackson said,
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
then Corey Perry, who wants time in the top 6, said, no. And then when it's all said and done, Vladimir Tarasenko was like,
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
that's good. That's good.
The Vetrano one got me.
That works. Yeah, you like that?
That was the one.
By the way, Grumpy Cat is in and says, guys, is today your 6-month anniversary? Happy anniversry. No, tomorrow.
Oh,
We
shoot.
started on the 6th.
Oh, yeah.
Today's the 5th. Tomorrow is Marshall Bokeith Nielsen's 9th birthday.
What?
And also will be our 6-month anniversary. Right? October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, 6-month anniversary tomorrow.
Momentous day.
Tomorrow. We might have to have a cake.
I think it would call for a cake.
Might have to get a cake in here.
As is EST tradition, you bomb down to the save-on 15 minutes before the cutting and
Roll in and
get
say,
it all
happy
personalized.
anniversary, EST. Yeah, keep the text messages rolling. Let's keep pounding that box this morning. One of you are going to win the text of the day. The Avro Arrow is in. First text ever to the Paris Steelers inbox. I'm not even halfway to Calgary this morning and already adding another league, Bundesliga, to the list. Yeah, 100%. I mean, what a joke. What a joke. Let's lay the show up for you today. We got lots to get to. It is game day. The Oilers kick off a road trip. 8 possible points up for grabs. How many do they get? Let's play that game. That's always a fun one. We'll get into that a little bit as we work our way through the show this morning. I want to dive into the Elias Pettersson deal a little bit. How does it impact Leon Draisaitl's next deal? What say you? We'll get into that as we work our way through the 6 o'clock hour this morning. Craig J. Button. Craig's going to join us just after 7 o'clock this morning. We got your cool bet hotline of the day. A little EST parlay for the Oilers and Bees tonight. Why not? We'll get into that. Weekly confessions, 7:30 today. I says pardon. Coming up for Lawyer Central. We'll go there around 7:45. We got kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda. Joaquin Gage, beauty lister himself. Gager's going to be by around 8:25. We'll be talking about the Oilers and the Bruins and the looming deadline, of which Gager will join us for on Friday. But we'll also talk about race week in Formula One. Max Verstappen, like this continues to heat up. This Verstappen leaving Red Bull,
he's going
joining
now, right?
Mercedes.
It's
oh man, this is insane. So we'll get into that with Gager a little bit. And then the orange and a blue breakfast coming up today from Mobile One and Blue Water Lubricants. We'll go there around 8:40 today to get you ready for the Oilers, the Bruins, some game day predictions as well as we continue to work our way back. Through to get you ready for the Edmonton Oilers and the Boston Bruins tonight.
Russell Wilson, eh? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, let's get into your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear. Your morning announcements brought to you by an FM radio station. Our partners over at 100.3 The Bear. You can catch me every single day with Yukon and McCord in the mornings. Jess Jackson in the afternoons over at 100.3 The Bear.
I'd give up 2 firsts.
Oh, 2 firsts. Edmonton's best rock.
Jess Jackson, worthy of 2 firsts.
100.3 The Bear. I mean, if we were going to steal somebody from 100.3 The Bear, nothing against Yukon McCord, obviously. Wouldn't mind some of their production staff. I mean, we could use
yeah, sure.
But I mean, the key get would be Jess Jackson, and we would be willing to part with a couple of firsts to get.
She's our Buchnevich.
She's the Buchnevich. Who's the Buchnevich now? Huh? All right, Scotty Barnes, surgery on his left hand from a morning announcements perspective. Tough news there for the Toronto Raptors, but the season is. I mean,
it's closing time, right? You can start playing the song.
Yeah, they're going to play out the string here.
Yeah.
I'm going to play out the string. Last night, the National Hockey League Vegas Golden Knights. Ouch.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Speaking
it's a
of playing
wake-up
up the
call for the
string.
Oilers. Like, you could lose. You could lose to the Columbus Blue Jackets, but the Blue Jackets at home doubling up the Golden Knights 6-3
Does
last
Vegas
night.
make the playoffs?
Well, now you're looking at the Kings.
There's a few metrics online yesterday suggesting they only have a 75, whatever. I mean, the Preds, eight straight. Kings are there.
Well, they're going to make the playoffs, but are they going to be a wild card team?
Oh, they'll be a wild card
That is a
team, yeah.
discussion. That is a discussion for sure. Blue Jackets double up the Golden Knights 6-3. Boston goes in Toronto, beats the Red Hot Maple Leafs 4-1. The Panthers just all they do is what's that song? All they do is win, 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 no matter what. That's what the Florida Panthers do. They rolled. You see this Barkov assist yesterday?
I thought you were going to
Are
do
you
the eye.
kidding me?
The eye says pardon.
Well, I've got it on a short list. I've
Yeah.
got 3 things on the short list for I says pardon. We could come back around to that. The Barkov assist was just ridiculous. If you have not seen it yet, Barkov comes in, takes a puck, bouncing puck, flips it over one of the Rangers, gets around as it's coming down, bats it down on his backhand, back to his forehand, well falling, slides it across, one-timed home, assist of the year. Can't be anything better than that.
Looks like field hockey out there, hey?
It was. Come on, I hate
That's what it is.
You know, I hate
bouncing,
field hockey.
the hurling, it's bouncing,
stupid
boom,
ball
bang, bang,
and those ridiculous sticks that only are one hand. You have to flip it over if you're the other hand. I got a lot of beef with field hockey, man. St. Louis Blues going to Philly, winning a shootout, low-scoring affair, 2-1 there. Colorado Avalanche make it look easy against the Hawks because you know what? It is easy against the Hawks. And the Seattle Kraken roll into Calgary, double up the Flames. Flames had won 5 in a row. They got the job done there. Edmonton Oilers are second on the TSN NHL Power Rankings. Number 2. Number 1, you know who the number 1 team is?
Florida
Panthers. Florida Panthers have been absolutely on a tear. The Florida Panthers, the number 1 team on the NHL TSN Power Rankings. Your Edmonton Oilers coming in at number 2 on that list. And Russell Wilson.
That's right.
Oh, my God. Russell Wilson.
Well, good. You had to move. It's a tough Band-Aid to rip off, but you just got to move on and.
$85 million in dead cap space for the Denver Broncos with the release of Russell Wilson. Now they can divide that up over 2 years, and I don't think it has to be like an even split. You can kind of split it up as you so desire, I guess. But $85 million in dead cap space. Now the NFL just announced that the salary cap's going up $30 million. That doesn't even cover what you need in one season for Russell Wilson. Here's the trade. This was the trade for Russell Wilson, who went 11-19 as a Denver starter with a 90.8 passer rating. The Seattle Seahawks got, in 2022, the 9th overall pick, the 40th pick, and the 145th pick. And then in 2023, they got the 5th overall pick from Denver because they sucked, which is hilarious. And then the 37th pick in the draft as well. They also got Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Shelby Harris. The Broncos had already paid Russell Wilson $124 million. And now they get hit with an $85 million cap penalty as well. That has to be top 10 all-time, regardless of league, bad trade. At least, if not the worst trade of all time. What say you? Hit us up, 780-218-9999.
I mean, it could have, who knows how it got, but then you bring in Sean Payton, right? And now he wants to do his own. Like, do one you can't do both things at the same time. So now Sean Payton's going to cook. Russell Wilson will go somewhere and provide some good veteran, I don't know.
We'll get to where he goes with 3 questions. It's already come in. We'll get to that during 3 questions. Like, well, who gets him next type of thing. Who wants him next? Where does he fit next? Who knows?
Masterful play by Russell Wilson.
Brilliant play by Russell Wilson. Remember when,
Just be yourself.
When he first got there, they're like, Russell Wilson has an office in the building.
Yeah.
He had his own office and stuff.
But if he's your golden calf, why bring in a guy like Sean Payton in? Mold around Russell Wilson.
Apparently that wasn't going to work.
What an organization.
Those are your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. On the other side of 6:30, after a sports update here for Green Plan, We'll get into the Elias Pettersson contract, how it impacts Leon Draisaitl. Got to have that discussion. What are you expecting from the Oilers and Bruins tonight? If you missed the show yesterday, feel free to chime in on what you view as a success prior to the deadline for the Edmonton Oilers and Ken Holland. And, of course, you can keep texting us, 780-218-9999. We'll get to more of those text messages. I see it's hopping over there right now. It's hopping over there this morning. So we'll certainly get to that. If you're watching on YouTube and you got to head off to work a little bit later on, first of all, give us a thumbs up before you leave. If you've not yet subbed to the channel, we would appreciate that as well. And you can listen, of course, on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio. That is our newest partnership. Download the iHeartRadio app, crystal clear, every single day over on iHeart. Let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric. I think we got Charge Anthem on the other side of this bad boy, too. Why not? It's the 5th day of Chin Strap Awareness.
Already.
Yeah, I know. It's flying by. It's flying by.
Alex Nylander with his first NHL hat trick for Columbus. The Jackets doubling up Vegas 6-3 last night. Elsewhere, Colorado shutting out Chicago 5-0. Nathan McKinnon's home point streak hits 30 games. Kraken over the Flames 4-2, snapping Calgary's 5-game win streak. And Pavel Zacha, he had a pair of goals in a 4-1 Bruins win over the Leafs. Jeremy Swayman, 32 saves for Boston. 9 games around the NHL tonight, one of which will see the Oilers open a 4-game road trip against the Bruins. You can join Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows beginning at 4 this afternoon right here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, the iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app, and on YouTube. Off the ice, Lindy Ruff fired by the Devils yesterday as the club appointed associate coach Travis Green as his replacement. Devils are 8 points out of the second wildcard spot in the East, and the Hurricanes signing forward Maxime Comtois to a 2-way contract through the remainder of the season. D'Angelo Russell had 26 points as the Lakers knocked off the West-leading Thunder 116-104 in NBA action. 9 games around the league tonight, including the Raptors taking on the Pelicans. Just one game in the PWHL this evening. Minnesota hosts Ottawa. And at the Brier, Kevin Cooey falling to 1-4 last night as he loses 8-3 to Brad Gouche's Team Canada, while the Sluchinski rink fell to 2-2 with a loss to PEI. The afternoon draw will see Sluchinski taking on Saskatchewan, while Cooey will face Nova Scotia. Tonight, Brendan Bottcher will look to get back in the win column up against Matt Dunstone's Manitoba rink. Sports Update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, you can plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
Somebody once told me that I had got to grow the facial hair that make me look fine. He was looking super cool, the ladies, man, how they drool at the shape of a U on his jawline. Well, you look amazing cause you just stopped shaving. The chicks line up so you're always dating. Doesn't make sense to have a full beard. You think it looks cool but it just looks weird. So much to do, so much to win. So grow it ear to ear around your chin. You'll never know if it will grow. So don't shave and just let it go. Hey now, grow a chin strap, get that hair on your face. Hey now, grow a chin strap, coolest dude in the place. And now that we are in March, let's all come together and celebrate Charge. It's a cool look, and as you get older, your chin stays warm and your life gets bolder. Hashtag Charge if you're on Twitter. Nelson had a chin strap in his wedding pictures. If you want, you shave it pretty thin. People use their eyes to be staring at your chin. My strap straight fire? How about yours? You're just so popular you never get bored. Hey now, grow a chin strap, get that hair on your face. Hey now, grow a chin strap, coolest dude in the place. And now that we are in March, let's all come together and celebrate Charge.
Chin Strap Awareness Month continues right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, right here on The Nielsen Show. Help us end the stigma today. Grow out the chin strap, share pictures of when you used to have a chin strap, and it'll just make it more acceptable in modern day society. The bottom line is every single style or trend has had a resurgence at some point. You know it's coming. I'm feeling probably
Cyclical.
around 2028, 2029. Maybe it's an early 2030s thing, but it's going to be back, and we're going to sit here and say it's like us doing Creed Tuesday for 10 years, being like, oh, you know what, Creed's coming back. Creed's coming back. Well, Creed has come back.
Yeah, now they're bigger than anything, right? Like it's can't get enough of Creed now. Everybody wants a piece.
You have to appreciate the bounce back, and you know it's coming, and we're going to totally take credit for it.
26 days are
When
going
it
to fly
does
by
happen.
here, though. So celebrate accordingly, right?
Oh, that's right. Every
Like, that's-
single day, stroke your strap.
Breathe it in.
Stroke your strap every single day. That's a good saying for
It sure is.
for church.
Let's get the
for
hashtag
sure.
out there.
Corey the Butcher texts in today. This is our meat guy. Acme Meats. Go see him. One of the best in the biz. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme. Good morning, gents. I'm heading to Olds this weekend for the first Team Canada practice for the next World Butchers Challenge. Oh, baby. And then he adds this.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Yes.
Do us proud.
That is nice.
Bring home the dub.
How does one, like, do you have to go through, I would assume you have to win, like, a regionals and a provincials, like, to get on that team, right?
Well, Corey's involved. He's got, the teams, all these people are all very good in their craft. Obviously, it's the best of the best, but they all uniform up. Like, it's very clean. It's a good look. Like, they go to play, baby.
Do you think at the World Butchers Challenge, and we're going to have Corey on to discuss this for sure. He's going to sit right here in between us. He's going to bring some show meat, and then we're going to talk about. I mean, a demo would be great, but yeah, I want blood all over the studio. I have to call Bruce Wilhuff and be like, listen, man, we got cow blood all over the wall. We're going to need a fresh wrap.
Need a wrap.
We're going to need a fresh wrap over here, Bruce. Do you think the World Butchers Challenge is about speed or finesse? Or a combination of both? Like, is it just how fast you can cut up this side of beef? Or is it how good you can cut up this side of beef? Is it a combination?
Probably some style points involved, hey?
I would like
Flips
as
of wrists,
how you do
a little flip of the knife, maybe.
the knife, like Tom Cruise and Cocktail.
Right.
A
little flair to your...
good, I think.
Yeah.
That's a nice idea. I like that one. How about this? Colin Ellerslie says, guys, no beef with field hockey. My father was on the Canadian national field hockey team and went to the 84 Olympics in LA.
Love it.
How about that? He's a legacy guy. A legacy guy. That's what Colin Ellerslie is when it comes to hockey.
H.E. Pennypacker says, Corey better do well. You better not butcher it.
All right, hammer the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube right now. The Edmonton Oilers get the Boston Bruins tonight.
You got a little Tyson Barrie chat heating up in the nasty chat right now.
No.
No.
Bring
him home.
No. You guys want Barrie back? I don't know if you get to the playoffs and you're like, man, Desharnais and Ceci aren't cutting it defensively in the playoffs. You're like, aha! Tyson Barrie in defensively in the playoffs.
Eric Stewart, do the Oilers trade picks and get Barrie back to bolster defense? Only like a mill cap hit can move puck and score, and he played okay with Nurse. Penner's Pancake says, ideal. I like that. And Barrie is loved in the room.
Is this out there somewhere, or are you guys
I
just
think
bringing
this
this
is
up?
a nasty chat.
Is this a nasty chat? Are you guys starting a rumor right now? Is that what's happening here?
Per the nasty
Or
chat.
has this been laid out anywhere else? Has it been laid out somewhere else? Or is this something that you guys are just starting?
I mean, aside from seeing his name on the trade bait list, this is... That's why we call it the nasty chat.
Not necessarily the type of defenseman I think they'd be looking for. But I do have a little bit of time for getting what you know. Like, they would be familiar with Tyson Barrie. They would know what they were getting in Tyson Barrie. If they evaluate that Tyson Barrie is the type of defenseman that they want to bring in, okay, I guess. I'd not thought about the name Tyson Barrie once.
Nasty,
and we're 4 days ahead of the deadline.
Poll? Nasty
3
poll?
days ahead of that. No. Trev, what do you think about Tyson Barrie as the elusive seventh D-man that they covet?
Well, It's funny because I swear when he was here, everyone was just crapping on him and wanted him out of town. And now that he's out of town, people want him back. And I feel like that's happened a few times. Like I remember in Jordan Eberle's last year with the Oilers, he had like a 20-game goalless drought.
And then the playoffs.
And was just horrendous. And they were like, no, like I don't want him, like get him out of here. And then, Jordan Eberle's name has also come on the people are talking about him, like bring him back. So like as far as Tyson Barrie, I don't really think he's a guy you kind of want in the playoffs. I do get that there is some familiarity and like that's nice. He was a good glue guy is what you hear. But I mean, I think there's other options that the Oilers should go for. They for sure should. Like, and he's just looking at his numbers. Like he's having a terrible year. Yeah, it
hasn't been a good
hasn't worked
season for
out.
Tyson Barrie.
No, it hasn't worked out at all. So yeah, the Oilers really should go for something else.
Penner's Pancake says, Dusty, there are over 200 GMs in the chat right now. There's always something brewing in here. Yeah. Eric Stewart says, just morning shower thoughts.
Yeah.
Sir Volley said he might get moved to Calgary last night.
We're just talking. It's just...
Yeah. And Strummy says, I'm sure Stauffer has laid this out from somewhere in the bowels of Rexall Place.
Georgia Satellite says, I don't think it's a very good idea.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's...
I don't think this is a very good idea. I was yesterday. Somebody, I don't know if it was on Oil Stream or whatever. Somebody brought up a Staff on Oilers Now. Check it out every evening over on 630 Ched. Great show with Staff. Somebody brought up that Staff on his show was talking about the Oil Stream and Dustin's a good guy and there's this little courting thing going on right now with us and Staff, like I think he wants to work with us a little bit and we'd love to have him and we could plug a bunch of stuff for the Oil. So somebody said, I wonder how many phones Staff has going here prior to the deadline. And what I imagine it as is that Staff is at I do like the idea of the old building. Like, because it's all like, no, but nothing happens in there anymore. But then you like zoom in and you go down and you go right down to the bowels of Rogers Place, like in the old glass area where they used to do the show from after games. And Staff is in there and he's got one of those old timey switchboards that you're plugging and unplugging things in.
Headset.
And you're connecting to different headsets that way. That's how I imagine Staff prior to the deadline. The Phantom of Rexall Place.
Yes, with the mask.
And he's got the half mask on. And he's
playing the organ when he's not doing this. Raise a little hell, raise a little.
Steve Stale's calling. Boom, 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 boom. Hello. Do. That's the image of Staff I want prior to the deadline, man. I think that would be great.
Just working up a sweat.
Just working and not on an actual cell phone. The disconnecting is
crushed Red Bulls all over the place, just in cans everywhere, just running off the energy drinks.
When you first walk in there, you see all these cans of energy drinks. You're like, what is going on in here? And then you see behind the glass Staff with the Phantom mask on, and he's trying to pull the trigger on deals, and he's getting all the inside info. I think that would be amazing. That's a great idea. Keep these great ideas rolling in here. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Brad the optician says, guys, what's the ruling on charge for a chin strap / goatee mix? And he sent a picture of what he's working with right now. Has the strong goatee, but then from here all the way up, just the chin strap.
I appreciate the pick. Like I'll give him. He's looking to play. He's looking to be.
It's not technically a straight up chin strap.
You let it ride for a guy like that. I think.
I think that type of support is more important than no support at all.
Yes.
So we got
another ally in the mix.
We got that going for him.
Rick in the
well.
Donut wants Barrie back just so the I'm thinking I'm back clip.
Yeah, that would be good.
Just for those personal
the Oilers
selfish
get to,
reasons, I guess.
The Oilers get to Friday and Tyson Barrie returns.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Probably not going to happen. I'd rather it be Ryan Strome.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
And then straight in. Mind you, Tyson Barrie's goal song's pretty good.
I'm still on the Kesselring train.
That's who you're still looking to get your hands on,
telling you, Kesselring.
I like that. I think that's really good. Strummy says, somebody notices just one set of footprints in the snow leading into Rexall. Like, what is this? Who is in there?
Somebody who was it? Strummy said saplings growing out of the old energy drink cans too, like little trees.
That's too good. I like it. 780-218-9999. Trade deadline obviously looms. The Edmonton Oilers do get the Boston Bruins tonight. We'll dive into the roadie, as they say, coming up in just a moment. The Boston Bruins 36-13-14 on the season. Haven't been necessarily great as of late. The Edmonton Oilers 37-20-2 after just an absolutely horrendous start. They have certainly figured it out. I think I saw Jack on Twitter say that they are back in wagon mode right now.
Okay.
So we'll see how wagon mode continues. They've won 4 in a row. The Kings, the Blues, the Kraken, and the Penguins. This road trip, a 4-gamer, a little bit of a weird one. They play the Bruins tonight. They get the Blue Jackets on Thursday. Blue Jackets doubling up Vegas last night, 6-3, like we mentioned. And then it's the 10:30 Edmonton time start on Saturday, 9 o'clock pregame with Tommy Gazzola. Tommy just goes straight from Kelly's to here.
He discussed the upcoming weekend slate with his head in both hands yesterday here in the this schedule, he says. I said, yeah, that January was pretty nice. He goes, man, it was the best.
Yeah.
And now they got games coming thick and heavy and weekends. And
they go Buffalo-Pittsburgh on the Saturday, Sunday to wrap up this trip. 8 possible points up for grabs. I think looking at who they're playing, if they don't come home with 6 points on this road trip, that's a bit of a disappointment. And if they were to win, 3 of 4, that means they would have won 7 of 8, which is a hell of a stretch, an excellent stretch. But yeah, and I know Vegas lost to Columbus last. I get it, but if you're the Edmonton Oilers right now, you got to beat Columbus, and you should beat Columbus. Buffalo, as long as you take care of things defensively, you should probably beat the Buffalo Sabres, and we just saw what Pittsburgh looked like.
Yeah, and I think last night too, Vegas is a team trending the exact opposite way of the Oilers. So nothing against Columbus, but that's a Vegas team that's trending down. The Oilers are trending up. You should be able
easier
to go
win against Vegas right now than it is against the Oilers right now. So
I mean, I get those times are a little weird, and again, you got a Saturday, Sunday, but it's not like it's late night or anything. I know the Oilers out east sometimes matinees and things go a little wonky, but we saw the Penguins; they're pretty much packing it in. Blue Jackets still playing tough, but yes, tonight obviously is the night, and it's the matchup of the trip.
Yeah, I know it sounds a little bit weird to expect a team to win at a 750 clip on the road, but when you look at the opponents on this road trip, I think it's certainly something that they are capable of.
That should be the goal.
I kind of just want to skip over the next 5 games and get to the Colorado game on Saturday, March 16th. Oilers and Avs.
I've been waiting for that all season long.
That's the one that we want to see. Let's see where that one goes. All right, so Elias Pettersson over the weekend got his new deal, $11.6 million on the cap hit. You know, it's broken down with signing bonuses and all that stuff. We don't need to get into the minutia of that. But for Leon Draisaitl, where do we come out on how the Elias Pettersson deal impacts Leon Draisaitl? He gets 11.6. Do you see it impacting? Here's the best thing about the Pettersson deal, I think, when it comes to the looming Leon Draisaitl contract. Okay? These guys don't leave. You know, you talk about all these big guys who are going to be free agents, these young, like the Matthews and Marners, and Willie Nylander gets his deal done, he stays. And now Elias Pettersson gets his deal done, and he's going to stay. Like, these top-end guys, the teams pay. That's it. The deal gets done. It's the price. It's the price of having these star players. So I think the best thing about it is another guy who could have been a free agent and could have gone to a new place and could have got paid, ended up staying where he is on the long-term, big-time deal, which, like, if Draisaitl was to leave as a free agent, that would be the rarity. Like, that's with the guys at that stage of their career that make this type of money, they stay. These teams can't afford to have them go. So I think that's the biggest part of it. As far as the 11.6 goes, what's Draisaitl come in at? 13 mil? Draisaitl get 13 mil?
Give me a high number. Give me whatever the high number is.
Is that where this thing kind of sorts out? Trevor?
I'm seeing him, like just looking. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be right around 12.5 to 13 mil.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. And
if you're Leon Draisaitl and the Oilers, like, all right, $13 million. Hey, why would you not take that? Like,
well, and it's not like the organization is in total meltdown mode, and same with Pettersson and Van Gogh and all these guys. Like, if you're in the height of your career and you look around and everything's on fire, then maybe that's the reason that you a chance to go and get something and do something else. But right now with Leon Draisaitl, I mean, again, they're going to pay a hefty sum, and right now his surroundings as it is, I mean, I don't know where are you going to go and start afresh and do something else. I know everybody said, oh, love to see him on his own, and he's got a good situation here. So why mess it up and why screw it up? He'll get paid. The Oilers have put themselves in a good position organization-wise, and I think it's easy to sell on as well. So you'll pay him the money he deserves. But
here are the top 10 cap hits in the National Hockey League right now. Nathan McKinnon, 12.6. So when we talk about Leon Draisaitl, we're talking about you'd be the highest paid player in the National Hockey League if you hit your 13 mil. Connor McDavid has a new deal looming here at some point. He's already at 12.5. You could view that as a little bit of a discount, to be honest with you. Connor McDavid's probably worth more than 12.5 when you look at some of the other comparables. Artemi Panarin, 11.6. Austin Matthews, 11.5. Pettersson, when his deal kicks in next year, will be at the 11.6 number, so just below where Artemi Panarin's at right now. Erik Karlsson's at an $11.5 million cap hit. Pasternak's at 11.2. Tavares is at 11. Drew Doughty's at 11. Mitch Marner's at 10.9. And Jonathan Huberdeau's at 10.5. Excellent work by Huberdeau's agent to get that deal locked in. I don't necessarily know if the Pettersson deal, like I look at it and go, he's staying. Great news for the Oilers because these guys stay. From a comparable standpoint, Draisaitl was always going to get more than what Pettersson got anyway, and I would think it probably comes in at least $1 million more, and it's probably in that McKinnon range. I don't feel like this will be a tough deal to get done. Do you? I mean, how does it not get done? Here's the market. If you want to keep him, you pay him what one of the top 2 or 3 highest paid players in the league have, and everybody moves on.
EH into the Paris Jewelers inbox with the Oilers look at a Leon trade this offseason.
No. I know there will be a lot of discussion about it on message boards and on
shows.
Not
actively pursuing this. It's just
there will be some sort of discussion, but I don't think any of it would actually come across as legitimate.
Texter explains they could be a better team paying 3 players $5 million over paying him. And there's always that side to it. So
yeah, but that you could say that about all these guys who would have become unrestricted free agents.
Yeah.
And they signed to stay where they are. I mean, the Oilers have to keep them. That's how.
And they should. There's no gripes or squabbles behind the scenes in terms of playing time, organizational direction, everything.
This dude basically gets whatever he wants.
Find the money and
has.
Yeah, so
right. Like if it's not going well without McDavid, he gets to go back and play with Connor McDavid again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, Austin Matthews' next cap hit is 13.2. So he'll be at 13.2. So when we said, we said 13 for Draisaitl, and somebody said, that might be a little bit too high. I don't think 13 is going to be too high. Does Draisaitl sit here and go, Austin Matthews makes 13.2. I'm not going to make more than Connor McDavid on his next deal or whatever, but I want to make 13.3. Is that what it comes down to? Do you have to cut him a check for 13.3 mil? Is that what ends up happening here per year?
And one thing that is worth noting as well, William Nylander, he signed big this season, coming in starting next year, which is kind of crazy. Oh, it's insane. 11.5 mil
for Nylander.
For Nylander,
yeah.
And you look at what he's never been a 100-point player in his career.
He had a great year so far this year.
He's having a great year this year, and he is on pace. But that's the thing. Leon could say, okay, well, William Nylander, he's having his best season for sure. But the last 3 seasons, 80 points. I've had 100 points the last 4 seasons in a row, right? He could very well make an argument being I could have north of 13, maybe even, close to 14. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. He really could bring that to the table if he wanted to.
And in the end, the Oilers still have to pay it.
Yes.
I mean, you just do. I mean, there's no real back and forth here. It's all right, pay him. I mean, that's how it pretty much has to work. Let's get to some of your reaction on it. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up. Give us a sub if you're not yet subbed already. Chaos Never Died says, it's not about being ahead of Matthews. It's about creating a market standard for trickle-down for the rest of the players in the league to eat better. You people are playing video game economics. Yeah, it is important that NHLers can eat properly. I know what he's saying. But Mike is in and says, Dry is getting 14 plus. Book it.
Video game
I don't think there's a plus on that. Does he get to 14? Maybe he gets to 14. But I'm thinking it's somewhere between 13 and 13.5. And it's not on the players. I know we always talk about this. Like, oh, take a little bit less so they continue to build a team around you. It's not on the players to do that, but maybe there's an outside chance he goes, Connor knows he's going to stay. I'm going to stay. This is going to be the number, and let's go win.
Do you want to win the cup? That's the question.
Well, can you?
I was told every player wants to win.
Can you win the cup elsewhere?
Well, it's another question.
The Pettersson thing worked out so well for the Canucks that they're good this year. Right? Like, what if the Canucks were kind of what the Canucks have been trending the last couple of years?
Organizational chaos and everything.
If the Canucks were a team that was like fighting for a wild card spot, or where Calgary's at right now,
which is funny because that's usually what they have been over the last little while, with the exception of this season.
Robert is in. I like it. I like a guy who refers to
Robert.
Is your name actually Robert or is your name Rob? And you're just like, I'm going to be known as, and you can be whatever you want in the Paris Steelers inbox. It's a fantasy land. But Robaire, Robert.
Very strong.
I just say it like that.
I can smell him almost.
These high-end guys all signed for a percentage of the cap. Leon's calculates out to around 14 mil. He took a pay cut for the last number of years. Pay that man, and we can enjoy him for another 8 years. Robert.
Bill with 1L also says, pay that man his money. Adding on to the Robert text.
I don't think Leon took a pay cut. I think
he definitely didn't.
They got him on a really good deal because when they announced his contract, I remember when they first signed the deal, right before he blew up, people were like, 8.5? And then after like a year and a half, you're like, oh yeah, 8.5 is pretty reasonable. And then later into the contract, you're like, oh man, 8.5 is a steal. But at the time, I think Leon was probably pretty happy with the contract that he got. Guys, I don't know. Draisaitl's got that skip the dishes money. He'll probably take less, right? Like all the big endorsements you can get here in Edmonton and Canada. He does those skip the dishes commercials, and he wears the mog.
There's money in the skip. Leon will be 30. KCF says he shouldn't get those numbers. 3 years older than Pete to trade him. There's always a counter. Hey, and
if they win, obviously the conversation is always going to be different. But if they win the Stanley Cup this year, things will be cool.
Well,
if they lose like to Colorado in a conference final or something again, this offseason is going to be fun. This offseason is going to be a lot of fun. I don't think anything like significant actually happens, but the discussions will be there, which are always a good time.
I have to break out a big board.
Hey, Robert, thanks for the text. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that. All right, on the way, coming up here in hour number 2, Cool Bet Hotline of the Day. We got confessions coming up. Confessions going to be happening around 7:30 today. I've joined a new club. I'll give you that confession around 7:30 today.
7802-899-99.
Yeah, it's not any sort of like
you have a card?
I do have a card.
Okay.
I joined a club that has a card. And I needed to go through an approval process.
An approval process?
So we'll get into that a little bit today.
Will I be getting a phone call? Do you know Dustin Nielson?
I don't know. Did you?
If
you did, thank you. I says pardon coming up here around 7:45 today as well. Oilers and the Boston Bruins are going to set that up. Bruins last night beating the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm sure Craig J. Button had some eyes on that. Button's going to be by coming up just after 7 o'clock. We'll talk Oilers Bruins. We'll talk about what he views as a successful deadline for the Edmonton Oilers. And can you roll into the postseason with Desharnais or Ceci as your options for the 4th spot in your top 4 on the blue line? All that coming up with Craig Button right now. Let's get to a sports update, sports rewind for Universal Rewind.
NHL action last night. Colorado shutting out Chicago 5-0. Jackets over Vegas 6-3. Kraken defeating the Flames 4-2. And Pavel Zacha with a pair, leading the Bruins over the Leafs 4-1. Jeremy Swayman 32 saves for Boston. 9 games around the NHL tonight, one of which will see the Oilers open a 4-game road trip against those Bruins. You can join Tom Gazzola and YouTube Trev for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows. Coverage starts at 4 this afternoon right here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We're also on the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn Radio app, and on YouTube. Yesterday, Lindy Ruff fired by the Devils. The club appointing associate coach Travis Green as his replacement. Devils 8 points back of the second wildcard spot in the East. And the Hurricanes signing forward Maxime Comtois to a two-way deal through the remainder of the season. D'Angelo Russell had 26 as the Lakers knocked off the West leading Thunder 116-104 in NBA action. 9 games around the league tonight, including the Raptors taking on the Pelicans. Minnesota hosts Ottawa tonight in the lone PWHL game. Over to Regina and the Brier Kevin Cooley falling to 1-4 last night with an 8-3 loss to Team Canada, while the Sluchinski rink, they fell to 2-2 with a loss to PEI. The afternoon draw will see Sluchinski taking on Saskatchewan, while Cooley faces Nova Scotia. Later tonight, Brendan Botcher looks to get back in the win column against Matt Dunstone's Manitoba rink. The Sports Rewind, brought to you by Universal Rewind, industrial electric motor sales and service, servicing many industries that we rely on daily. From agriculture and aggregates to food processing and industrial manufacturing, choose expertise, experience, and quality. Choose Universal Rewind.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad cats like Brzezinski and Noodles. Gager and Gager, maybe just Bubba to Cool Band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Sharky's always on time, Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Wanna hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away. Beat up the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the Canes? Macramel, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All the fucking human person, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
7:03 on a game day. Edmonton Oilers and Boston Bruins. Tonight, we'll set that bad boy up. Bruins coming off a win in Toronto against the Maple Leafs last night. On the way in hour number 2 of the Nielsen Show today, we will have your cool bet hotline of the day. Start to build a little EST parlay for the Oilers and Bruins tonight. Weekly confessions for Spectrum Rental coming up around 7:30 today. And I says, pardon. We got a few different things we can discuss. Around 7:45. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. Gager's going to pop by Joaquin Gage around 8:25 today. We'll get his thoughts on the Oilers and the Boston Bruins. Also on Formula One opening up. Lots of drama early on here in the F1 season. Gager's going to be absolutely loving that. And an Orange and Blue breakfast to get you set for the Oilers and the Bruins tonight. It is trade deadline week. There's lots to discuss on that front. And as always, our Hockey Insiders brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. They've got signings right now available with Dylan Holloway and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Just hop online, proamsports.ca for more details on, you can choose items that they've got. You can bring in your own items and get them signed by Holloway and or the Nuge, available at proamsports.ca. Let's bring in Craig Button this morning. Craig, happy Tuesday of trade deadline week. It's always exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always interesting to see what teams are doing, what you hear about what they could be doing, and then ultimately what they do. Because, after Friday, then it's all about the playoff races and what teams could have done, what you would like to have seen them do. But, I mean, it's busy. It's busy in front offices. They're trying to explore every opportunity to improve their teams at the lowest price. And teams that are selling are trying to get the best price back. So I expected a little bit more to be done by this point in time. So I think for James Duthie, I think he's very pleased that there hasn't been a lot of trades to this day. But we're on alert. You know how that is. You're watching your phone. You're hearing everything. Like what happens? Once you hear something, what does that mean? And everybody wants to know. So. it's a good time, and I think now too. We also have the case teams pretty much that are on the sell line. Like there's no more about okay, we'll wait and see. I use the Calgary Flames as an example.
Yeah.
They're selling. Like, I mean, we know even if they would have won last night, I think it's clear that they're sellers, and I think that it's becoming clearer and clearer teams that really have to be sellers. And I'm worried. Just real quickly, the Philadelphia Flyers look like they're having a free fall. And it'll be interesting to see what they do if they try to reinforce or if they trade some of their potential unrestricted free agents.
Yeah, that's one of the most unique spots, because heading into the season, you would have thought this would have been a year where they were selling a little bit. Now they are currently in a playoff spot. But if they fall off, yeah, that's kind of where I was going to go next, and Philly might be a good example of this. But right now there are 16 teams in the playoffs and 16 teams that need a lot of help to get to a playoff spot. Like it almost looks like we've got our 16 playoff teams almost locked in here prior to the deadline. Now, Philly might be a team that could maybe slide back a little bit, but Nashville looks like they're heading in the right direction. The Kings look like they're heading in the right direction out here in the West. Does that make it, like, is this going to be a more active trade deadline because of that, or a less active trade deadline?
Well, I don't know about. I don't think it's going to be less active. Everybody's waiting, and teams that are going to sell, Dustin and Eric, like, they want to give themselves every opportunity to have clarity. Let's call it that, right? Like, okay, so it's clear. So I think what's happened, Nashville on an 8-game winning streak, LA's really steadied themselves. And now you start to look, if you're St. Louis, if you're Minnesota, you're Calgary, you're Seattle, I think it's pretty clear. I mean, Wenberg, they kept him out of the game on Monday night in Calgary because of trade-related considerations. I've heard lots like
TRC. Yeah, TRC.
Is that what you're calling it? Okay,
yeah, the
TRC.
Yeah,
I like that. Like we gotta use acronyms. Yeah. I thought it was, and so it's clear. It's really clear with those four teams. Don't kid yourself. I mean, Doug Armstrong in the past, he's been very forthright in terms of dealing. It's nice you're winning, but you now have to win so many more games than the team ahead of you. And if the teams ahead of you just play 500, that's a daunting task in and of itself. That's if they just play 500. So I think reality is set in for a lot of teams, which makes it really clear. You're not being held off by those, let's see where we're at. You're not saying to Doug Armstrong. Doug Armstrong's not saying to you, rather, oh, let's wait. Let me just see. Let's see where we're at Wednesday. Let's see. It's kind of okay. Talks heat up now. And I think they become really serious about players that teams had their eyes on. Discussions have been there. And now you get serious about, okay, what's it going to take?
Craig, just keeping on this theme here for a bit, has reality set in then with the New Jersey Devils and in the coaching change yesterday? Ruff out. I mean, they were chanting his name, chanting him to get fired, chanting him to get hired. He's done. Travis Green in, associate coach. But where are they at in this whole conversation of teams kind of in and around the edge? I know looking at goaltenders, a couple weeks back, and now, 6-8 points back of a wild card spot on the East. Thoughts on the Devils and the coaching change yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, Lindy was asked about his job security the other day. He says, you don't get into this job for job security. It just he knows he's coached a lot of games. I think Lindy Ruff got undone, number one, by injuries. I mean, you don't have Dougie Hamilton. You have Hischier and Hughes out for stretches of time. And he got failed by his general manager, simply put. By his general manager. The goaltending issue last summer was an issue. This isn't a couple of weeks. I mean, so, Tom Fitzgerald, who gave Lindy Ruff the extension, to me, this is a massive, massive fallback for the New Jersey Devils. 112 points last year, lots of enthusiasm about where they were at, and it was, they needed a goaltender last summer. They needed a goaltender in September, October, November, December, January, February. It hasn't changed today, Eric. Now, the question is, what are they willing to do now? Like, if I'm the New Jersey Devils now, like, what are you going to do? Kind of, oh, look, we got a goaltender now? Like, come on. Like, I would suggest that maybe the best time for them to get a goaltender and to look at their team is in the offseason.
It's probably what it has to end up being. It's funny. Eric brought that up. I had to write my notes. I said Lindy Ruff loses his job because Fitzgerald couldn't get a goalie. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's as clear as day, right? That's the issue with the New Jersey Devils. And you're right, major step back after what they were able to do last year. We're going to get to the Oilers and Bruins coming up here very quickly. But just on the Oilers and the trade deadline, we asked this yesterday of listeners and viewers and everybody here at Evanston Sports Talk. What do the Oilers need to accomplish at the bare minimum, Craig, for you to view this as a successful deadline for Ken Holland and Jeff Jackson?
Yeah, I think it goes at a bare minimum. And I've said this for a while here. Bare minimum, get a little more weight and speed into the bottom group of your forwards. That's the bare minimum. I mean, there's all different. Okay, this would be ideal or this would be nice, but I think last year they needed to get a defender. They got one.
Yep. And
there was a few in play. I mean, they got Ekholm, excellent deal. I thought Chychrun might have been the better one, but absolutely Ekholm was the best deal. And that was that's turned out fantastic for the Edmonton Oilers. So bare minimum, weight and speed. And the playoffs are about who can go the hardest, the longest. You need depth. You need weight. You need speed. Like you asked, I was asked this question a couple of weeks ago. Would Jordan Eberle be a nice fit in Edmonton? And I said no. I said like that ship sailed. Jordan's going to play his 1,000th game, I believe, next Monday. Had a really good NHL career. He's not going to help the Edmonton Oilers at this point in time compete deep into the playoffs. So if you can find some weight and speed deeper into your lineup and your forward group, that would be the bare minimum, I would think, for the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, Boston Bruins last night had not been playing well as of late. Toronto certainly had. Boston rolls into Toronto, comes away with a tidy 4-1 victory. The Oilers have seen the Bruins not that long ago. What should we expect from Boston coming off of that win last night in Toronto?
Well, the one thing I want to make sure of, Louis DeBrusque has to up the ante for his son Jake.
Yeah, that's
one
right.
One and one. And I think Jake has to say, listen, if I get a goal tonight, Louis, you got to do 50 on the broadcast. You got to do 50 push-ups on the broadcast. Simple as that. That was such a special moment. All that being said, you use the word tidy. John Tavares post-game said that game was an example of what we didn't do well in front of our net defensively and what they did in front of their net defensively. Toronto never had a sniff. Like it was, I love the word tidy because they had the puck outside. They weren't really dangerous. I mean, you're going to have a couple of dangerous looks, but for the most part, they were not able to get in there. Boston needed that type of game. I really think Boston, they'd been giving up leads. They'd been giving up lots of goals. They had been sloppy. So that type of a game, I think, against a team that had been playing very, very well, is playing very well in the Toronto Maple Leafs, was necessary, I think, for Jim Montgomery. And it doesn't get any easier jumping on the plane knowing that you got the Edmonton Oilers rolling into town and in their last 4 games playing outstanding hockey as well.
I think the Bruins go heavily after some sort of center here prior to the deadline, get some depth down the middle.
Yeah, immediately when I read about TRC with Alex Wennberg, I thought immediately that Alex Wennberg might be the guy going to the Boston Bruins. So I think that's where they could use some help. And, and you look at it, I mean, Morgan Geekie's played really well there. Certainly Pavel Zacha's played really well there. Charlie Coyle's played really well there. But even if they get a little bit more offensive, I don't know if depth is the right word, but they could just add a little bit more offense. Wennberg would do that. He's not elite. He's not top of the table, so to speak. But if they can get a center in there, get a little bit more into that area of their roster where they can get some more scoring. They've had good play through that roster, but I think a little bit more would really help them.
Craig, you're a fun guy. Swayman in net for the Bruins last night. What'd you make of Allmark's hide-and-go-seek game of not being on the bench and people say, trade? I mean, on deadline week, you can't be watching parts of the game in the dressing room and light the world on fire in a buzz here, can you?
See, I think it's like baseball, and we're in spring training now. it's like you go to the clubhouse, right? They have those fantastic spreads in there. The pitcher that's pitching on Tuesday doesn't sit on the bench on Monday. Like, there's lots going on. You got those nice, comfy, lazy boys in the clubhouse. I think Toronto's a good. I'm sure the meal was good. The high definition TV. Why not go sit in the dressing room and sit there? Like, you sit on the bench. What are you going to do? Goaltenders used to chart face-offs. Remember they used to sit there with the pad and they chart face-offs, and coach would go, who's the best face-off guy tonight? Oh, that's Bergeron.
That was usually the
answer. Even if it wasn't Bergeron,
yeah.
And even if it wasn't Bergeron, you just said Bergeron.
Yeah, basically goaltenders dictating whoever they wanted to take face-offs, which makes a lot of sense. That was a good time. Yeah. Craig, enjoy.
Noodles
Noodles
would be eating popcorn on the bench, and he'd probably like it a little bit hotter, and he likes the buttered kind on the stuff. So that doesn't really your hands, your stuff slips off your hands.
I go layered butter. When I go to the movies, we don't go to the movies very often, but when we do, it's layered butter. You got to get that butter in the middle of the popcorn, right?
Do you know Jamie has a theater popcorn maker in his house? Do you know that?
Oh boy, we do now, and we have him on the show tomorrow. I'm gonna have to bring that
Craig.
up.
Okay, yeah, he does. Like he has Jamie. He'd go to the movie theater because he not to go to a movie because he wanted some popcorn. He'd go in and buy a ticket and get popcorn, watch 20 minutes of a film that he might have seen 13 times already, and eat popcorn. But he's got a theater popcorn maker at his home. This guy is a popcorn aficionado.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for tomorrow. I was already excited for tomorrow's show, but this is even better. Craig, enjoy the rest of deadline week, man, and we'll recap it all next week.
Yeah, have a good day. Thanks.
There you go. That's Craig Button. Man, that brings up a whole nother conversation. I like to imagine it as, like the popcorn stand, and you have or does he have a full-blown industrial, popcorn maker, the big one that's behind the till at the movie theater. You can get the one that's pretty good size, and it's got the red and white stripes on it, and that, or does he have bought it from the
big shovel?
Theater's going out of business, and he's got the huge shovel and everything.
Installs it in the house,
Yeah. Even has the tray next to it with the 3 different sizes of bags and stuff.
It's got to be part of a room like this. Now he's got a move. He has a theater or some sort of the popcorn.
I don't think you just have your popcorn maker in the kitchen.
Loves a good popcorn every once in a while, but
must have theater room.
It's interesting. I do like the
man. If I was loaded, I'd totally go full size, a good size theater room. I know some people have a theater room, and you got 2 sets of couches and
a couple rows.
My buddy Boom kind of has that, but it's only got a couple of couches, but it has the huge the whole wall is kind of the television. It's cool.
IMAX screen. Hey?
Yeah, but that would be fun to live in a house and do so well that you could have theater room. That's kind of neat.
Well, again, Jamie tomorrow. You can get started here. Let him know where he started, and you can kind of...
Oilers are going to win 13-1 tonight against Boston. And tomorrow morning, Jamie joins us, and we're going to be all right, Noodles, let's get to the big story of the day. Tell us about your theater-style popcorn in your home.
Look, 11 degrees for the ODR on the weekend. You're going to have to maybe transition to a new
And where are you guys seeing this 11 degrees? I looked on my forecast.
It was a long-range forecast a couple of days ago.
I looked on the forecast last night because I was like, man, is it really going to be 11 degrees? Here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing... Today, -16. Tomorrow, -13. -2, +2, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5.
Thursday, 2. Friday, 5. Saturday, 6. Sunday, 8. Monday, 7.
Sunday 8. See, my Sunday says 3.
Well,
we've got some dueling weather reports. Craig Button, brought to you by our great partners over at Pro Am Sports. Signings with the Nuge and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins currently available over at proamsports.ca, or you can pop by and see them just north of the Yellowhead on St. Andrew Trail, 128th Ave. But like we say, visit them online. They are AM nasties. They are sports nerds, just like you. In honor of Craig Button being on this morning, how about you smash up the thumbs up button and give us a like there today, or hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel as well. That would be that'd be nice. Strummy says, my in-laws have a full-size one. It's on wheels. You got to really like popcorn, though, to have a popcorn maker, like a full-size popcorn maker in your house. So you got to be using that thing, I would think, 3 to 5 times a week.
Well, somebody points out in the nasty chat, the cleaning must be a pain in the ass. Like that's the. It's one thing to enjoy these things, but to clean it and keep all the parts going, the butter and the.
Probably a little bit of a pain in the butt.
Take it apart and clean each screw individually.
I can confirm it is not.
Wait a second. Do you have a popcorn maker in your house?
I was like, no.
Oh my God, Trev, your roommates have a home
No,
theater?
that was my second job. I was at Pinch Creek Fox Theater.
First of all, Pincher Creek has a theater.
Yep.
One theater, or is
Two.
it two theaters?
Did you wear a bow tie?
No. I had like a black shirt.
So you got to do the scoop with the popcorn.
Yeah, that was me.
Thing? Really?
Yep.
My sister worked at the theater in Cranbrook for a long time. She must have put in like 5 years at the theater in Cranbrook. I thought that must have been a fun job.
It was probably like, I liked like my first job at Sobeys. It was pretty cool, but yeah, I mean, it was super chill because, I mean, it's Pincher. You probably get like, maybe 10 people coming in the theater.
Yeah.
And so they come in, and I'm like, oh, sweet. And then I'd grab my popcorn and my pop.
And you'd go watch
and I'd have my chocolate M&Ms, my peanut M&Ms. I'd go up top, like where the projector was and all that. It was really cool. It was like my own little room, and then I just got to watch the movies as well. I'm like, you guys enjoy that? I know I did. See you later.
What a sweet
It was
gig
sweet.
that
It was
is.
cool.
Yeah. Man, I would have liked to have worked in the theater somewhere along the way in like my early 20s.
Were you like an usher? Was it an usher? Was that the role?
Did you take tickets? They
Yeah.
did it.
I was like, tickets.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, hey, meet me over there. I'll get you your popcorn.
Put your feet down.
Yeah. It was tough. Yeah. There were some times I'd be like, hey, can't be on your phone. And they
You
wouldn't
gotta lay
listen.
down, eh? You gotta.
I try, but I was like 15. I'm like telling the guy that's like 40. I'm like, sir, can you please get off your phone?
Put your feet up and
He's like, no.
You're like, okay, thank you, sir. Turn around and walk back out the other way. K-Town texts in and says, guys, my dad has a popcorn maker in the theater room that came with the house he bought a few years ago. He used it the first weekend he moved in and hasn't touched it since because of the mess. Ah, man, that would be a buzzkill, hey? You get all excited about this, and then...
be annoying. I'd almost take it out. Rip it out of there. Turning into an eyesore.
Remove it out. What are you going to put in? What are you going to put in
People
place?
come over. Oh, you got a popcorn machine. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Jonathan says, YouTube Trev was once Cinema Trev? What a reveal. What a reveal.
That's not bad.
Cinema Trev. Good morning, boys. Considering how the Oilers' season started and where they are now, surpassing Vegas for second spot and possibly catching Vancouver with games in hand, let's not forget, it's cup or bust, not first in the Pacific.
Yes, so these games do not matter. They're in a playoff spot. Just lock it down right now and focus on the playoffs.
I'll tell you right now, I think you'd rather play... Well, this could be interesting to see how it sorts out. If they track down the Canucks and get first in the Pacific, but aren't first in the West, and then play Vegas in the first round as a wild card, would be the all-time, oh, man, what's happening here? Like,
do you want it?
We expected for quite some time here that Oilers and Vegas would meet in the first round in the 2-3 spot. But I guess it wouldn't change the overall picture of how we would view the series. But wouldn't that be something if they track down first in the Pacific and their reward is playing Vegas in the first round of the playoffs?
But would it change a bit? They're coming in, like, again, the original thought was 2-3, right? However you want to stack them.
Yeah.
But now one's a division winner, one's a wild card. Does that, like, you'd be going in the Oilers, the season that they would have had, starting out the way they did, and then going out to finish first.
Because they're
going to
have to play good to track down the Canucks,
you'd
too,
be
right?
flying in so high, but then you'd have a sneaky team like the Golden Knights waiting in the reeds, coming in that wild card spot, and there'd all this talk be the Oilers. And like, I don't know. I like when the Oilers are the enemy, personally. I like them when they're coming in as the underdog. I like when they're punching up instead of, assumed to be punching down.
Well,
if you know what I mean.
I think we.
I don't want them to finish wild card 2 here or anything, but I'm kind of saying.
Did we have this discussion last week on the show?
Well, we had it last year too, entering the playoffs. I like when they're kind of the.
If the Oilers track down the Vancouver Canucks and finish first in the Pacific, and we said earlier today they are number 2 on the TSN NHL Power Rankings. Like, people know they're a good team. But there will be heavy expectations put on them by the media, which, a lot of the time they'll say, we don't care what the media says, even though it does disrupt
cycles
them.
through, yeah.
Like, they obviously, they've shown, this leadership group has shown that they're aware of what's being said, and at times they do let it rattle them to the point where they need to have some conversations with certain people.
And on the other side, I think they do best when they're told, you guys, Like, I think they rise to those challenges as opposed to...
Yeah.
I'm just saying, with this group, it just seems sometimes that's the case. But
where do you come out on this? Hit us up, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If they do track down the Vancouver Canucks, I mean, that's full-blown wagon over the final month of the season, and you're going to be rolling into the playoffs red hot.
During a time which we said the schedule is a crunch, they've been playing pretty healthy hockey up until now. If you can get that done and play this crunch schedule...
You know what's... Just to tie it to Vancouver and Vegas, which would be the two teams that we were kind of talking about here, with Vancouver at the top of the division right now. Vegas falling a little bit. Last night to Columbus just is unacceptable. That's an embarrassing one. But you see Pierre LeBrun said that Vegas and Vancouver are two of 6+ teams that are in the mix for Jake Gensel. And I do wonder how much you view it as the Edmonton Oilers, like, how much you have to approach deadline of the Oilers as, oh, man, the Canucks added Lindholm, now they added Gensel. We got to get a bigger name. Or, oh, you know what Vegas is going to do? They're going to have Mark Stone on the LTIR. They're going to go get Gensel and Eichel's back and all this stuff. Like, how much do you allow other teams to impact, or how much do you think as a fan should the Oilers be impacted by what other teams are doing? If Vancouver and Vegas both add a significant piece prior to the deadline and the Oilers don't, I mean, does that make things even worse than if they just didn't add somebody prior to the deadline?
Well, and in terms of Vegas, I mean, you talk about that LTIR thing. You could be looking at them adding a couple pieces. Somebody texted in earlier today, and I can't find the handle, but I think they had something as Buchnevich, Gensel, and P. Kane. I mean, I don't know. Again,
I was texting earlier today. I mean, yeah,
show your work. But I mean, it's look, we've seen them before get very creative at this time of year. So who's to say? Again, I don't think you're looking at this Oilers team where you're saying, oh, they need so many. I mean, yes, they need a few things. Albeit we're saying kind of adding from a depth point of view, but certainly look around at your neighbors and especially Vegas. If they go shopping and kind of come back with a filled-up cart of some pretty nice goods, I don't care where you're finishing and you're playing a wild card team in the opening round, that still is a good team with some added pieces that really could put them over the top. So,
Trev, you weren't here yesterday, but Matthew Wannick made a bold claim. He said if they beat Vegas in the playoffs, they will easily win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, he said that.
He used the term easily win the Stanley Cup.
Win, right? Like,
easily win the Stanley Cup. I was going to say, if they can somehow acquire an upgrade on CC and Desharnais on the right side and lock in a legitimate top 4, not this top 3.5, if they can lock in a top 4 on the blue line and add a bottom 6 forward that can move and has some size, I will pick them to win the Stanley Cup heading into the playoffs. Now, none of our predictions ever really come true, but I think that would be enough to put them over the top. Good bottom 6 forward, somehow a legitimate upgrade on C. And I'm not talking like Carrier and Walker are names. I get it. Like, that would be viewed as an upgrade, but I'm talking pull the trigger on another Ekholm style deal. I don't even know who it is. But if they can bring in that type of defenseman, they're going to be extremely tough to knock off in the playoffs.
JKB, adapt or die.
Whoa.
I don't know if it's that serious, but if other teams add and you don't, you're getting worse. So he's stretching it to the very extreme here.
Adapt or die.
That's the stretch run motto here, hey, on deadline week.
Jim Jambon, maybe? Say no to Gensel. Don't trade the first for a rental. I'm also in the camp of not trading a first for a rental, but trading a first for a guy with term next year. But I also did say yesterday on the show, and Maddie said you shouldn't box yourself in here, but I said there will be no trade that they make prior to Friday that I will view as an overpay, because I view them as all in. If you're all in, move whatever you have to move. Unless it's like Holloway and multiple firsts or something. I mean, then that's something you could look at. All right, let's get to your cool bet hotline of the day today. On the lock shop today, I will have a EST parlay locked in, Oilers and Bruins. By the way, if you've not yet checked out our Discord channel, I think I retweeted it again yesterday. Mm-hmm. The Discord gets hopping in the afternoons and into the evening, especially the D-Gen Den, which is where all the cool bettors and lock shoppers are, building parlays and sharing picks. It's real fun over there on the Discord. Edmonton Oilers, let's just kind of play it safe tonight. Boston Bruins did play last night. Now, the Bruins are in a unique situation where they got 2 stud goalies. even if they haven't necessarily played like stud goalies as of late. But they got two guys. There's like no fall off, drop off in between the pipes. Let's just go simple tonight. Edmonton Oilers money line tonight on the road against the Bruins back to back. It's minus 122. The Oilers are the favorite tonight on the road in Boston against the Bruins. Oilers minus 122 on the money line. If you like the Oilers to win in regulation, you can get it at plus 130 tonight. But Edmonton Oilers money line, decent value here at minus 122 against the Bruins on a back-to-back. 780-218-9999. In the nasty chat, Belinetsky says, adapt or die. Brought to you by EM Utility Locating. EM Utility Locating. Don't kill yourself. Morning after show tomorrow morning with EM Utility Locating. The award-winning EM Utility Locating. That's yes. That's kind of cool as well. We do have confessions coming up. We do have I says pardon coming up as well. We do have a gift certificate for a free skate sharpening if you want to win that. Northern Edge Athletics, an independent hockey shop located in Argyle Arena. For those of you who've been at Argyle, you know what we're talking about. If you're looking for a service as passionate about the game as you are, they specialize in skate sharpening, skate and equipment repair. So if you need some of your gear patched up, they'll get it done there, as well as hockey lifestyle wear. Got some goods in there. Stay sharp with Northern Edge Athletics. And all you have to do right now is text in if you want to win this gift certificate. Go check out Northern Edge Athletics. Just text in, cut me, at 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Text in, cut me. And you can win a gift certificate to Northern Edge Athletics. Get that free skate sharpening. Check out their shop in Argyle Arena. All right, let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda. What do you got for confessions? What are we confessing this week? 780-218-9999. Let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda with LTE.
Vegas Golden Knights falling in Columbus last night, 6-3 to the Jackets. Colorado shutting out Chicago 5-zip. Kraken snapping Calgary's 5-game win streak 4-2. And Pavel Zacha with a pair leading the Bruins over the Leafs 4-1. Jeremy Swayman, 32 saves for Boston in the win. 9 games around the league tonight, one of which are the Oilers in Boston, opening up a 4-game road trip against the Bruins. Tom Gazole and YouTube Trev will get you set. They'll have your Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows tonight, beginning at 4 this afternoon here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Also on the iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app, and on YouTube. Lakers knocking off the West leading Thunder 116-104 in NBA action. 9 games around the association tonight, including the Raptors back on the court against the Pelicans. PWHL will see Minnesota host Ottawa this evening. Kevin Cooey falling to 1-4 last night with an 8-3 loss to Brad Gushue's Team Canada. The Sluchinski rink also falling in a loss to PEI. They're 2-2. The afternoon draw will see Sluchinski taking on Saskatchewan. Cooey will face Nova Scotia. Tonight, Brendan Botcher will look to get back at the win column as his rink are up against Matt Dunstone's Manitoba. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where they'll always accept a first for a rental.
If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit and he does interpretive ice dances to my life's journey.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
I've got something under my skin, and the itch won't go away. It's my original sin, the poison that I crave. Come along for the ride, I'd make you feel better. Cut the rope that I tied, but then I broke my skin again. You got me fiending for that first high, but the feeling's not the same. You got me stealing, killing, I die.
Whale and the Wolf, EST house band. You'll hear them between shows and stuff right here. Trev is wearing a Whale and the Wolf t-shirt. I'm assuming it was picked up at a concert on Friday night. Eh, Trev?
Absolutely, it was.
How was it? Was it good?
They sound like just so good. It blows my mind. Like usually when you hear a band, like, you hear their song, you're like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. And then you go watch them live and you're like, okay, like that's not what they really sound like, but they sound the exact same. It's so impressive what they do. It's so cool, and being able to like know those boys too.
You know the guy,
yeah. I was like, holy crap, look at you, yeah. So it was. I had such a grand old time. It was a lot of fun.
It was great. It was a great night.
Whale and the Wolf, a grand old time. That's a good one. I like that. I like seeing the text messages roll in that say, "Cut me, cut me." Yeah, that's good. We were giving away that gift certificate to Northern Edge Athletics. It's for 10 skate sharpenings.
10?
Yeah, 10. 10 skate sharpenings. 10 free skate sharpenings. You just got to win the card. We got the cards sitting here. Text in "cut me" if you want to win one of those bad boys. And that'll cover your skate sharpening for quite some time. Jaunty in Victoria says, "Boy, do I love Whale and the Wolf. Thanks again for introducing me to the material." And that's coming from a musician himself.
Yeah, game recognized game. Isn't that what they say? Eh?
That is the saying.
I want Jaunty to tour a little Western Canada jaunt, just playing the 2 songs. Hey,
Yeah.
The What Say You and the 6 o'clocker check-in.
I'm pretty sure we could get like 30 to 50 people
2 songs.
at some sort of place for a Jaunty and Victoria show.
Somebody's house, have a popcorn machine.
It's 10 minutes.
Jaunty and Victoria, 10 minutes. You're in and you're out.
Done and done.
Buy a shirt.
If you're watching on YouTube this morning, hammer the thumbs up. If you were listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and we can see that there are a lot of you listening over there. Make sure you tell your friends how easy it is to consume the Edmonton Sports Talk content, whether it be on TuneIn or on our new partners at iHeartRadio. We have our own iHeartRadio channel now, and it's going very well over there as well. And, of course, you can still listen OG style at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. All right, let's get into your confessions today. What do you need to get off your chest? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Confessions brought to you by Spectrum Rental, where they confess to getting no work accomplished this week, where they continually refresh Twitter awaiting the looming deadline. Bring your lawnmower in for repair or service, just not before the deadline. At Spectrum Rental, they want no work this week. None. Leave us alone. Hey, guys, I got an emergency with my lawnmower here. First of all, it's not an emergency if you looked outside. Second of all, we'll get it done after the deadline, sir. I like that. I like the commitment. I like the commitment to the bit. I like the commitment to the NHL trade deadline. We'll have full trade deadline coverage right here. Nielsen Show 6 to 9 on Friday. The Hangout from 9 to 11. And then a special oil stream of at least 3 hours from 11 up until 2, leading you up to and past the NHL trade deadline. Joaquin Gage will be joining myself and Tom Gazzola on that deadline oil stream special, which should be a lot of fun.
The trade bait has been updated as of this morning.
So many trade bait updates.
Looks like 8:01 Eastern time.
Where's that Oilers first round?
You want me to do the 10 here? You
Can
want me
I
to do
guess
top
where it
10?
is?
Yes,
I'm going to
please.
say it's moved down a spot to 5.
Interesting.
What's it? Where did it move up?
Interesting.
Oh man, this is always.
I'll do the top 10 here.
Okay, give us.
Number 1, Gensel.
Yeah.
Number 2, Hannafin.
Okay.
Number 3, Henrique. Number 4, Edmonton 2024 first.
Okay, this is the same as yesterday.
Chikrin at 5.
Oh, is Chikrin moved?
Well,
the needle is moved on Chikrin.
Stick with me here. Sean Walker at 6. Tarasenko 7. Frankie Vetrano at 8.
He's up. Frankie Vetrano's up a couple spots.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Dumba 9 and Markstrom at 10. So,
okay.
A little bit of...
All right, so some Frankie Vetrano buzz.
Yeah.
Chikrin in there.
After you included him in the Tombstone mashup earlier today, I'm still...
Yeah. Yeah, we laid that out earlier for you.
More Frankie Vetrano buzz.
Okay.
Let's get it going.
All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here.
Get him in while you can. There won't be too many more trade baits, hey? Trade bait boards leading up till Friday. I mean, this is... You got to...
Yeah, there better be a new one tomorrow, or who's even doing their job around here,
right?
You know? 780-218-9999. It is confession time for Spectrum Rental. It's a good idea, though, to get your lawnmower serviced before you get grinding out another year.
I'll beat the line. Hey,
get that taken care of.
Yeah.
Really get ahead of it. I'm never ahead of anything. I'm always very delayed on everything. That's a good idea.
And bring the lawnmower into your house, give it a nice wash.
Keep it warm.
Like
keep
people
it warm
do with their
for a bit.
bikes. Like, it's very upstand. Like,
I think it makes
this is my
sense to
lawnmower.
wash your lawnmower. Yeah, it gets dirty. That's a dirty job being a lawnmower.
It is a dirty job.
All right, Eric, what are you confessing today, buddy?
I don't have a popcorn machine. I've never had one. I also confess that with the snow that fell over the weekend, my wife took the liberty of going out and doing a bit of a shovel, but she shoveled during it snowing, which I can't stand because you're kind of. I like to wait until it's done snowing, then I'll shovel the snow.
No matter how much is coming, you don't want to do like a midway shovel.
I understand I'll subscribe to that. But on the weekend, nobody's walking around. Like on our street, there's nobody. It doesn't matter. The street's pretty much closed over the weekend. You just wait till it's done snowing. So she goes out, shovels, and she shovels in a manner where there's like still like it's not a. She does it to get it done quick.
Oh boy!
Which I like to take my time and do it properly. But I confess that it. A
couple of homeowners having a little issue with the shoveling here.
Rubs me the wrong way.
So have you suggested? Just leave it.
I don't suggest anything. I just say, go out and it's exercise. Go if you want to do it, go out and do it. But I confess that I don't.
My wife always expects me. You know, like when you drive on the driveway a couple of times and the snow gets packed down. She's like, "Did you get it all up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I shoveled. Don't worry about it." She goes, "But did you get the pack down?" No, I'm not. I'm not doing that every single time. Are you nuts?
You ruin your shovel.
You can't do it. Well,
you'll.
Good point. Now, when I was shoveling a couple of days ago, the packed down stuff started coming up relatively easy. So I did take a pretty good run at a lot of it then because it was just like as long as I scraped down, it was just popping up. As I was living a good life. I was like, "Oh my god, look at this! I'm getting up the packed down stuff."
Is there any better feeling than getting that stuff off with one nice scrape
and a big chunk comes?
You get this. The hair stands up, and you just feel like a shiver up your spine.
I took all of those chunks and I left them. I carried them all up and put them on right outside the front door. Like a bunch of heads that I've taken in a battle, and I laid them out there to send a message. And I rung the doorbell, and then I hit around the corner, and Tammy opened up the door, and there's just these big chunks from the packed down snow. It's just me sending a message like I can get this done too. Yeah, it was a real big day, My confession today, and you were a part of this when we were going down to Vegas. But guess what arrived in the mail yesterday? My Nexus card. I'm now a Nexus card guy. I've been approved by whatever needed to be approved, and now I can really skip the line. And I travel a lot in the summer, so this is going to make traveling so much less. And I'm a very stressful traveler. You saw it. Maddie's like, "I'm going to be the last one on the plane." I was like, "No, you're not. We're going as soon as our zone is called." And I'm like lurking around up there being like, "All right, here we are. Zone 2, please. Zone 2. Now it's just like for security, getting through security, it's just, oh, buddy, I cannot wait till I fly next time.
Your yin and Maddie's yang during that traveling experience in the airport.
You were kind of stuck in between us.
I loved it. I just loved it. But then this is good for you. I saw you. We were there live. You were talking to the guy at the booth.
And he kind of looked around. He's like, "Okay, let's do it quickly."
He was fixing you up and doing the whole thing. Well, this is good. Now you're in the club. Now
I'm in the Nexus club. They say, "Do you have a Nexus card?" Now I can get like, "Yes, I do, sir. See you later," and walk right by.
Glenn Suter takes the velvet rope and says, "In here, Dustin. Come with us."
I'm now. Yeah, it's like you died and you've gone to heaven, and they're waiting at the gates, being like, "Welcome in." And you're like, "What? This is amazing."
Suter's gonna love this.
And you should see how good I look on the picture of this card.
Well,
my wallet's actually over there in my jacket pocket. I'd show you. It looks. I'm like, I said to Tam, I said, I look like a tech guru or something. I had kind of a backpack over my shoulder, and it's black and white. I look badass. It's one of the best pictures ever taken of me.
You could be wearing a red lanyard almost, Dave.
Oh yeah, down in Vegas at the time.
Nexus good for Canadian flights too? Yes? Is it Nexus only for international travel? Barry the Cheater asks.
You'd be the expert. No, like at a lot of the airports, you can whip through security if you have priority status through the airline. Or a Nexus card, you can whip around, so it's not just for American travel.
This is a momentous day for you.
I was thinking about it last night when I got the card. It was like when you get accepted. I never really got accepted. I got denied into Lethbridge College the first time I applied, so I got a letter of denial. I never got
accepted.
No, I didn't get in my first time I applied. for broadcast school.
The next time you
the next time I did, but I think I don't remember the letter coming saying I got in. I only ever remember the rejection letter coming.
So you only got rejected, but you never
this
really
was like,
got accepted.
I got it in the mail and I ran back home to the family. I was like, it's arrived. It's come. Let's open it up together as a family. And so I was thinking, like, I know in Regina, there's a line to whip through with the Nexus. In Winnipeg, in Edmonton, in Vancouver, and I think in Calgary. So
I look forward to you just going on flights for fun now, just because you can, right?
Yeah.
Who's to say don't just do a jaunt up to Fort McMurray for the
I'm also
weekend?
happy is that I cleared. Like, I'm actually definitely a good guy. Like, there's no bad guy stuff that I've done. So it was a big day yesterday. Put it in my wallet. I'm very happy. I'm ready to fly comfortably through security for the upcoming season of the Canadian Football League.
T-Mac, the rugby guy, will they question your picture without a chin strap?
Oh, that's a good point. I go through and they're like, excuse me, sir, are you sure you're the same guy? Because in this picture, you don't have an absolutely beautiful chin strap that you have now. Are you the same person as who is here right now? I guess
that jawline is a little different.
Jimmy Onishi says, Dusty, bring your Nexus card to Lethbridge College and show them your card and then say, how do you like them apples? I do like the idea of me climbing up to the third level somehow. Like, you know where the broadcast program is? On the window at the end of the hallway and being like, slamming my Nexus card. Like, literally renting. Spectrum Rental probably has it.
Sure.
One of those things that you can lift up in. I've never been in one of those either. Like, a lift
Zoom
that takes you all
boom
the way
or
up to the
whatever.
third level. And then slam that on there. That's a lot of investment to really stick to somebody. But, I mean, I think that'd be kind of funny.
I mean, the people have changed. Nobody knows who you are, but you stare them right in the eyes and you let them know, right?
Yeah.
Who is this man?
Who is this psycho?
With a beautiful chin strap.
Why does his chin straps look
Very
glorious?
threatening, but that jawline popped.
Wait a second. That's a church guy.
Here's an uncomfortable one. Did Tammy and the kids get Nexus as well? Next time you guys do a family vacation, do you just meet them at the plane?
They didn't get it, so I had to go by myself.
Yeah.
I told Tam, I said, this is easy for me now. Travel's going to suck for you guys. Oh, that would have been a jerk move, but it's just for me. Strubbyson says, "Excuse me, sir, your chin looks a little lower." Yeah, that's because I don't have my strap. How about this? Neil is in. Neil gets it.
Yeah.
Neil, this is why I'm so happy today.
Experience.
Neil says, Dusty, that card will change your life. It takes about 30 to 40 minutes off the travel. Enjoy it. Cheers, Neil. Like now, with this card, if I'm boarding at like 1:30, I can roll into the airport at like 1:10, 1:50. Now, with that being said, the Edmonton airport, I went through there every weekend for like 5.5 months. I never had to wait more than 10 minutes anyway. But I don't know. It's just going to be cool.
You get the cachet.
Yeah.
You can walk through waving the card, suit jacket hung over your shoulder. It's very casual.
VR Montenegro in the Paris Jewelers inbox says, I've just been using my Nasty Club membership card at Nexus. Right this way, sir. Excuse me, sir. Do you have Nexus or are you a priority? No, but what do you think about this? Nasty Club member number 53. Oh, why didn't you say so?
Flash it fast.
You don't even need to take. I guess with the Nexus line now, I don't even have to take laptops out of my bag anymore. Like they just trust me now. Now I could really become a smuggler.
If you bring
that, nobody would ever know.
You bring that Tombstone badge, they might let you fly the plane.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Jimmy says, I'm shocked that the Muzz didn't qualify for Nexus. Yeah, no, Lizzie's got a pretty bad rap sheet.
2 for 1?
She's 7 now, but her rap sheet, so there's no way she'd get approved.
Got to confess some of those things first.
No way she would get approved. So anyway, mark it down. Surveyor Brett, put it in your phone. March 5th, 2024. Dusty joins the Nexus Club. We'll see how it goes. Also, you know what I learned yesterday? Tommy and I had a meeting here yesterday with somebody. I don't want to give out too many details yet, but it was an exciting meeting. We're pretty fired up about it. Anyway, the guy in the meeting was just like, man, that Russian spa place is around here, right? I was just like, yeah, man, it's downstairs. He goes, oh, I've been there. And I guess have you heard what's going on below us here?
What?
Like, so he explained to me yesterday what is down there. So you can book the room.
Yes.
Did you know this?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
You can book the room. You go in there. There's like couches and chairs and a TV. You can bring your own booze in.
Yes.
You can bring your own food in.
We could have meetings down there.
Yeah, and then you sit around. You can watch the game. And then they have the like a sauna and then a steam room, and then the shower. So you can sit there, watch the game, and then Trev can be like, I'm going to hop in the steam. I'm going to have a steam for 20 minutes. We can all just sit around, drink, watch the game. Trev goes in, has a steam, comes back out. Everybody just sitting around in robes and towels. I thought it was like you hopped in, you did your sauna, you got out, and you left. But apparently you can rent the whole room down there, chill with your buddies, and then have saunas and all this fun stuff.
It's a different world. Synergy Sauna and Spa, if you are interested. They do have a website, very nice, pictures and everything.
I had no idea. Tommy and I yesterday were like, that's happening below us? Like right now there's a huge room down there. You can go and chill with your buddies and have a couple 6 o'clocker loggers and watch the game and then have a steam?
I don't know how we're just learning this.
I know.
I'm a big sauna guy and steam room guy.
What?
I love that.
Yeah.
So
I love having a
that's exactly what I thought it was. You just go in, kind of hop, there's going to be different people there.
Quick sort of thing.
Yeah.
Apparently you can rent the room for like 1 or 2 hours and just sit in there and chill.
Ignorance is bliss. I'd rather not.
We definitely have
I'd
to do
rather
that.
kind of just keep. What is going on down there? That's what you think.
Adam is in and says, this sounds like the next live watch-along, like the Washington game. That's actually a pretty good idea.
Well, we
set a couple of cameras up there.
We
down there.
befriended them quite well. I'm sure they would be,
Yeah, I think
drum up some sort of
you
deal,
can
hey?
probably make that work.
We should trade businesses for a day. We go down there. They come up here, doing massages on the table. The whole bit.
Oh yeah.
We'll heat up the whale.
They're
in the
also
wolf room.
streaming.
That's the sauna. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. This text is in from Bonnie Dune Ron. Classic handle. All I can imagine is Dusty being Garth and Wayne in Wayne's World when they get that backstage patch with this Nexus. Like, is this cool? Is this cool? Is this all right? Is this cool? All right. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. That's confessions. We had some people texting some confessions earlier today. But that's confessions. Brought to you by Spectrum Rental. Get your lawnmower service. Get it maintained. Be ready. Be ready for the spring.
Because it could be here this weekend.
It's not going to be that warm.
It's going to be 8.
Guys, the EST group shower does not sound good. Well, I mean...
Or does it?
We don't know until it happens.
Exactly. Don't be such a negative Troy. Come on.
Zacticum, if you want a job here after your practicum, you're going to get into that shower right now.
Oilers Bruins.
Oilers Bruins tonight. No, we got to get into I says pardon. I says pardon for Lawyer Central. Look, get a clean slate and affordable rate. If you have any other legal issues, they're a great team over at Lawyer Central can help you out with that as well. Visit them www.lawyer-central.com/pardons or call 1-888-288-8177. 1-888-288-8177. They've got lawyers all across the country. Whatever your issue is, check it out. www.lawyer-central.com. If you're looking for a pardon, throw a /pardons on there and then get you a clean slate at an affordable rate. We got to bring this up because he's back today. But we talked about it a little bit on the show yesterday, and we were trying to look it up yesterday. But we found out over the weekend on postgame that YouTube Trev is a top 50 NHL player online. And I says, pardon? Trev, how did you not tell us this? I'm watching postgame the other night, and Tommy's talking about it. I'm like, Trev's been working with us for half a year. He hasn't told us that he's some sort of Chell expert. I know you play a lot, but I says, pardon? Top 50 in the world?
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of keep it on the DL, the down low. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't know it had that importance behind it, but
I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, like during the Christmas break, I actually played the rank number 1 in the world. He's probably like top 5 now or something.
Okay.
And yeah, I was just playing, and I'm like, man, this guy's really good. And I don't know.
And you knew he was number 1 in the world at the time?
No, I had no idea. No, I'm not gonna lie. I had a few beers. I was a few beers in, and I'm like, wow, like this guy's pretty good. And then it goes to OT, goes to a shootout, I think, and I lost 3-2 in a shootout. And it's kind of annoying. You have to control the goalie.
Yeah,
in a shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really practice
It's not
doing
a real
that.
loss.
Yeah. And
if
so
you're gonna be top 10 in the world, you better start practicing goalie initiative.
Yeah, I need to. But and then I look, I'm like, man, I need to go check where. And then I looked, I'm like, holy crap, I just went toe to toe with like one of the top ranked players in the world. So that was kind of cool. But like I played for the esports in college. We had this like on my last year there because we didn't have the ACACs. So we had to do something a little different. And I represented the team for the NHL, I guess, like playing the NHL, and I won, which was kind of sweet. And so, yeah, a lot of the boys were like, holy crap, that's pretty cool. And then just as early as I can remember, like my stepdad, man, like I had to have been in like elementary, like grade 5, grade 6, you know. He'd be like, I can't score. Like, Trev, can you come up? And like, I'd quickly like score for him. Then I'd go back downstairs and start playing my game again. And yeah, it's like the funniest thing. And like, I don't know. It's like, I just love trolling. I love trolling. Like whether there's some grown men, I'm just like, I just toy with them so many times.
You are a grown man, Trev.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, but it's like, oh, it's so funny because every now and then you hear like the people, like their voice chat. And so they're just like, gosh, this guy's good. And I'm like, and then I talk to him, I'm like, yeah, you like that?
I want to play against you just to see how bad you destroy me.
No, I mean it could be close. I don't know.
So how do you? So like, can you see the list of the top 50 and then you can go and challenge guys to games, or how does it work? You just randomly play?
Yeah.
Online?
So it's just random. It's just random. That's all it is. And it's kind of match make like ranked is how it is. So like I'm playing like the top 1,000.
Is this cross platform?
Yeah, they just started this year. Or last year. So
wow,
yeah, it's pretty sweet. Like I have a lot of fun with it. That's definitely something I wanted to start doing was streaming.
Yeah.
Like for
the last, you should stream on the evenings on Edmonton Sports.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, I was gonna bring that. I brought that up to Tom. He's like, you should bring that up to Dusty. And I was like,
that's a good idea.
I don't want to be like, hey. Like I don't know.
We don't have a show at 8 or 9 p.m. So if you want to go on and play a game.
Yeah, I thought that would be pretty cool. So yeah, maybe. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'd hate to like talk all this up and like I don't know, just the first game I ever played, just an absolute blowout.
It's really gonna suck if I play you and beat you 6-3.
I'd be like, okay. I'd be like, Dusty, we need to get you. That's insane.
I play with Marshall and that's about it. I will say though, like he's only 8. I know a lot of people probably have kids too. Like he doesn't play a ton of video games, but he's pretty good at NHL for it. Like dishing out the one-timers and stuff. I'm like, damn kid, like this is pretty good. YouTube Trev and Marshall Keith Nielsen. The late night stream. The late night stream.
Yeah, no, there's times like I'd be playing. I probably should have been doing homework when I was at the college, but like my bro and stepdad, they just come downstairs and just watch me play and
just watch you play.
Yeah, like it was pretty fun for them, I guess. Like I don't know, it was pretty cool.
So are you pulling off like Michigans and stuff and all that
stuff?
Oh
yeah,
what?
Easily.
Like
the first. Yeah, I do. I pull off Michigans. Like I try to do a Michigan every game.
All right. Shivers texting today and says, Trev, what's your secret? Do you play online lots or do you do practice mode? I've been playing Chell for years and I'm modestly less than average. Teach me. Do you do practice mode or do you mostly just play games?
Yeah, before I hop on, I probably practice for at least 10, 15 minutes, like where I just go the free skate and I just like dangle.
Helmet off.
Helmet off. It's like with McDavid, just get all the deeks in so I'm like a little warmed up and then I go torch some kids up.
Okay.
Jordy Mac wants to know your gamer tag.
I think I'm going to switch it to YouTube, Trev.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Right now it's Party Boy, I think.
Okay.
It's Party Boy.
All right. Well, that's see, I says pardon. YouTube Trev is one of the best NHL players in the world.
in this building.
He's right here.
He's right here.
He's right here. Now we have to have an NHL tournament at some point.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, like my brother. He's like, have you guys have you showed the boys or any of your skills? Have you challenged them in Chell? I'm like, no, but maybe one day we'll see. I don't know.
I want to check it out. Nate the Builder is in and says, this is a great combo, gents. My son is ranked number 5 in NHL players in North America. There you go.
That's pretty impressive.
All right, Nate the Builder, your son versus our son. YouTube Trev for the bragging rights locally.
And Jordy Mac, three-way dance.
Three-way dance. You're gonna have to. What do you play on, Xbox or PS5 or?
Yeah, Xbox.
Okay.
YouTube Trev watch party from the Russian spa. I think we found.
Yeah. Well, somebody suggested Trev plays the game and I call it.
Yeah.
Right? During the pandemic, I broadcast an entire playoff run of NHL with United Sport and Cycle. It was amazing.
What the heck was Trev doing on that one?
This guy's top 50 in the world? I don't believe it.
Just keep bringing that stat out.
Amateur move. This text is in and says, a Michigan every game? YouTube Trev is going to get a virtual cross-check to the face. Sounds about right. That's disrespectful to the game. I Says Pardon brought to you by lawyer-central.com/pardons. They can get you a pardon or they can deal with any other legal issues that they have. Lawyers all across the country, 1-888-288-8177.
Nate, the builder, says his son is ranked number 5 in players in North America. He's been to 2 of the last 3 World Championships, and he's in his first semester of radio and TV at Nate.
Oh, this guy's coming after your job, Trev.
Yeah, that's impressive. I always wanted to, because they had that, they were advertising it the last few years, the Chell matchup or whatever it is. He was just talking about. I always wanted to sign up for that because, you never know. But that's pretty impressive. Top 5, it's super impressive, really.
Guys, NHL tourney at Shanks. Well, when we eventually get Shanks, that would be pretty cool.
Dusty criticizing the fans in Chell doing the wave from Jimmy Onishi.
What are these guys doing?
Mid-broadcast.
YouTube, Trev is tied 2-2. This is the most ridiculous wave I've ever seen. Good suggestions as well. Ken says, YouTube, Trev beating the rest of EST with one hand tied behind his back. Trev, if I was to play you, do you think you'd, if you gave me a 7-0 lead, do you think I could beat you?
Probably I'd probably score 7 goals in the first period. Probably.
You score 7 goals in the first period?
I'd like to think so.
All I do against Marshall is blow him up. I just run around and hit everything that moves.
It's a physical game,
which is a lot of fun. Yeah. So when you get on a power play, you set up a power play and stuff, and
yeah, it's interesting. I the power play functions on this new game. I'm not really a fan of. They it's weird. I score more on the penalty kill than I do on the power play.
Shorthanded.
It's weird because they make the penalty kill players the AI. They make them have so much more hustle. So it's but then when you're on the power play, all your players they kind of just sit back and don't have that hustle. So it's actually harder to score on the power play, I find, than not. I sometimes I'll trip. I'll intentionally trip people just to get on the PK.
Just to get on the PK.
Because your computer players all of a sudden they're all over the guys, right? It's weird. They need to fix that function.
All right. Well, there you go. That's the latest YouTube Trev NHL savant. Right here.
The Oracle.
Remember the ESA? Oh, the Oracle. That's a good name for you. I love the Oracle from the league. You're the Oracle. The NHL Oracle. All right. We need somebody to play kind of easy trivia right now. Oilers and Bruins tonight. We got the Orange and Blue Breakfast coming out to get set for that. Joaquin Gage is going to join us. He'll help us get us set for that as well. We'll also talk some F1, obviously, here early in the season with Gager and a lot of drama around the sport of Formula One right now, which is always exciting. If you would like to play kind of easy trivia right now, we do have that gift certificate. It is available for Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Just text in 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Fire us a text. Let the Oracle know that you would like to play kind of easy trivia today, and one of you will try to win that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. On the way, we got 3 questions too many. That's coming up here as well. Right now, let's get to a sports update. If you are looking for work, they are looking for you. Clayburn Services. Visit them at clayburnservices.com. Hiring all levels of apprentices and journeymen. Eric's going to have more on that with a sports update. Here we go.
Oilers open a 4-game road trip tonight against the Bruins. Tom Gazzola and Trevorical. They'll have your Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows tonight. Actually beginning 4 this afternoon right here at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, the iHeartRadio app, TuneIn Radio app, and on YouTube. Bruins with a 4-1 win last night over the Leafs in Toronto. Jeremy Swayman, 32 saves for Boston. Oilers Bruins, one of 9 games around the league tonight. Lakers over the Thunder, 116-104 in NBA action. 9 games around the NBA tonight, including the Raptors back on the court taking on the Pelicans. Minnesota will host Ottawa tonight in the lone PWHL game. Over to the Briar from Regina, the afternoon draw will see Sluchinski's Alberta Ring taking on Saskatchewan, while Cooey's Alberta Ring faces Nova Scotia. Tonight, Brendan Botcher will look to get back in the win column. He'll take on Matt Dunstone's Manitoba Ring. Sports update brought to you by Clayburn Services. Take your career to the next level with Clayburn Services. They're hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.clayburnservices.com or make it easy. Give Jeff a call, 780-910-6728.
The Nielsen Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
How dude. I'm your huckleberry.
Tuesday morning with the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being here. Fire your text messages over 780-218-9999. Let's pound that inbox today. The ring box, the bling box. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox. We should get that jingle put together. I think it would actually come across pretty good.
There's something there.
I think there's something there for sure. 780-218-9999. If you are listening on TuneIn or on iHeart, please tell your friends how simple it is to consume our Edmonton Sports Talk content on TuneIn or iHeart live every single day. You can also listen at edmontonsportstalk.com. You can watch on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a sub, give us a like, give us that thumbs up. We would appreciate that this morning as well. And of course, everything we do here after the fact is also available as a podcast. You can find more details on all the podcasts, all the shows at edmontonsportstalk.com as well. What's the deal with, I've seen it a bunch of times coming in today, the hallood or whatever. What is this?
I learned in the hangout last week. Well, it's a thing. I think Grumpy Cat and a few friends thought
that's what they say.
Howlood.
Oh!
And I thought whenever people said Howlood, they thought you were discussing an individual named Haloud or something, or it was some sort of like battle cry. So now people say Haloud or something. And
I think that's a fun bit for buddies.
Yeah. But it's the Tombstone Howlood. Yeah.
Howlood.
Howlood.
It's like an episode of the Achy Breaky podcast, when we don't
break
know what
that
one
thing
thing
down.
means. And
yeah. We learn a lot on the Achy Breaky podcast about 1990s country music. If you've not yet checked out the Achy Breaky podcast, we just looked at the bad boys of country music in the 90s. Sawyer Brown and Some Girls Do, an all-time classic. Gage is going to be by here around, I would probably think 8:25. We'll get to Joaquin Gage. Orange and Blue breakfast around 8:40 this morning. The Oilers and the Boston Bruins tonight. 8 points up for grabs on the road trip. Boston. Could be a tough one tonight, but they did play last night.
And they played them tough.
Got the Columbus Blue Jackets on this trip, Buffalo and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Played Bruins good when they were here.
Relatively reasonable road trip. Come home with 6 of 10. I think people got to be pretty happy. Take 6 of 8, Take 6 of a possible 8 points on this road trip. That's a good road trip. 750 win percentage. Come on back home.
4 games in hand on Vancouver, 9 points back.
And still 1 game looming against the Canucks, I do believe.
Back in.
All right, let's get into kind of easy trivia today. As always, brought to you by great partners over at Mr. Mike's, where they do have the 6 o'clocker lager on tap. Schwing, great idea by Mike and the team over there. It's the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. Get the sirloin bites and dip them in that delicious, delicious sirloin bite sauce, and you're going to love them. Only at Mr. Mike's. Trev, who's playing today, man?
Not just any loser. Today we have the loser.
The loser's going to play today. This is great. I love how we don't have a name for him. He'll just be referred to as the loser and needs to get 3 out of 5 correct.
Quite a confession as well earlier in the confession segments we didn't get to.
I didn't see it.
Would you like me to read it before we bring him on air?
Should I? Let's do it. Give it to me.
My confession is I still think the Oilers are frauds and will lose in 4 or 5. First round.
Oh, the loser. Let's bring him in this morning. The loser, good morning. Are you ready to play?
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Oh, what a take. What a confession, too. I like that. All right, here we go. The loser. You need 3 out of 5 to not be one today. I'll start the ticker after read the first question. Good luck, man. Here we go. Which NFL team released Russell Wilson yesterday?
Broncos.
Which team did Wilson start his NFL career with?
Seahawks.
True or false? Russell Wilson is married to Beyonce.
False.
Who do the Oilers play tonight?
Bruins.
What position does Linus Ullmark play?
Goalie.
Boom! The loser's a winner!
No! Oh, my God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment. Totally. People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV. That's stupid. It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just
I'm
stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Game day club beat loop provided by The Loser. Hey, Mr. Mike's. The Loser's coming in to grab a bite to eat. Great handle. Great handle. I hope he's very successful. I hope he has a PhD in something.
Look, he didn't get rattled by the take. We read the take before the thing. He comes on, he owns it. He's, yep, that's me, and goes 5 for 5.
Can I say The Loser is a professional?
I think that would be that'd be the saying.
The Loser, more like the winner.
I mean, it's just
so lame.
Setting
But
up
I
on a
love it. I'm
tee.
here
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
I'm here for it. Oilers and Boston Bruins tonight. Joaquin Gage is on the way. We got to get into this Max Verstappen, Josh Verstappen, all the drama around Red Bull and what's going to happen there. We'll get into that with Gager. We'll also get his thoughts on the Oilers and the Boston Bruins tonight. The Boston Bruins winning last night in Toronto, and what I described, and Craig Button agreed with me, a tidy affair, a tidy win.
A tidy
over
affair.
over the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we'll see what happens with the Oilers tonight. Tommy Gazzola, what time's pregame get rolling for Tommy Gazzola tonight?
Should be 4, hey? 5:30 puck drop.
5:30 puck drop. 4 o'clock pregame start with Tommy Gazzola. Post-game to follow. Post-game probably get rolling around 7:45. Go to about 8:45, maybe just before 9 o'clock. He's at Kelly's by quarter after.
Yeah.
That's a nice night right
Tucked
there.
in, 132.
That's a nice night right there for Tommy Gazzola. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for 3 questions too many today?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda, where the entire staff had gathered this morning in their showroom to watch the live feed of Devils President of Hockey Ops and GM Tom Fitzgerald meeting with the media. Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
Do you have a Twitter account?
At Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow on Twitter. Or X, as they're saying now.
I'm starting to transition to calling it X more than Twitter.
But they still call themselves Twitter within the website and app. Like, you still go to things and it's...
Well, now I'm just confused.
It's still twitter.com. So
yeah. Trev, you want to throw up Park Mazda?
I did put up the hashtag Stroke Your Strap, which is a...
and what a GIF you found.
What a GIF indeed. I never... Why are we just...
How'd you find that? Did you search chin straps?
Yeah.
And that was one of the gifts as an option?
Yeah.
I'm going to start hitting that every day.
Can you believe it? Yeah.
I'm going to start hitting that every day.
It's got them all. Very good. And then, of course, a standard Tombstone Tuesday GIF as well. So it's all up there. And did you hear what happened to the Iditarod yesterday? Man.
No.
I retweeted this from 21 hours ago, and it's the account at Megan J. Bradley. She tweets out, still piecing together all the details, but in the first 24 hours of Iditarod 24, which is the hashtag, a musher punched an aggressive moose in the face. The next musher had to shoot it, which means stopping to field dress it according to official rules. Then third musher's team ran into the carcass. So it's all go at Iditarod 24.
So the first musher punched this moose in the face.
Get out of the way. Right in the mush.
As he's rushing along.
He's going in.
On the go. Boom. I love it. Then the second guy shot it.
Had to shoot it. But then when you
But
shoot
you have to field dress it.
because that's the rules.
So what is the field dressing?
Well,
Like, do you have to skin it and stuff?
The whole...
What is the field dressing? How do you field dress
Well,
a
you're
moose?
getting out all the... you're getting...
And then the
getting
other musher didn't see like this huge pile of blood and a
Right into the
dead
carcass.
moose right in the path.
That's...
Did the second musher place the moose strategically to throw the third musher off?
No cameras.
Well, that's interesting. I did not see that news yesterday. Well, you can find it on his Twitter account, Lieutenant_Eric. All right, question number 1. Do you guys expect the Oilers to make a trade before Friday?
Yes.
Before Friday?
Yes.
Like before the deadline?
How...
Like
not today.
no, but I think the question is, like, do they make a trade tomorrow or Thursday?
Yes, Thursday. I'll say Thursday.
So move early.
Exacting your dream of getting the work done, and then Friday we come in and talk about it. Right?
That would be real
the
nice,
ideal
not
week.
gonna lie.
We said deadline week is great, but why on a Friday? Then Saturday we discuss. Oilers do their business Thursday, maybe mid-afternoon into the evening.
I'd say just after 6 o'clock.
Sure. Like a time we're getting greedy now. But do it Thursday, then Friday we can come in and discuss it. I don't know. It's a bit of a guess. It'd be great for us, but I mean, there is that assumption that Kenny has some ideas and he's waiting until the final second to pull triggers, depending on whatever else shakes loose and whatever else happens. Maybe he swoops in at the final hour, but
I'm going to
Thursday.
say nothing gets done till last hour. Or not last hour, but like Friday.
Friday of, leading
Give us the 11 a.m. deal on Friday, Kenny. That would be great. Stoff, if you're watching or listening this morning, can we pass that along to the brass. Like, let's get that 11 a.m. deal. Gives us some time to break it down. Gives us some time to be like, is there more coming? There has to be more coming. This can't be it, right? That's always one of my favorite trade deadline things when you're saying this can't be it, because one deal's already been made and it's probably going to be it, but then you expect there has to be more.
What about 10 o'clock Mountain mid hangout?
I'll take a 10 o'clock Mountain. Sure.
I want to get 1 hour to preview things, and something happens. It gets the next hour to
10 to 11:15ish Mountain.
Sure,
that's a wheelhouse for the trade.
Get it done.
Let's see that happen. Make that happen. That'll go a long way. That'd be pretty good. Question number 2. We knew this was coming in. It came in earlier this morning. We didn't discuss it then. But, guys, which NFL team do you think should take a chance on Russell Wilson next? Like, is there an NFL team out there right now that makes him their starter?
Well, that's the.
There's always the old
question. He can go on a team and
you made a ton of money. Come. But he doesn't sound like a guy you want mentoring a younger quarterback, right? Like a team's not using a top 10 pick this year on a quarterback, and then at the same time also being like, oh, and Russell Wilson, you're going to mentor him as the backup.
Well, he's
like,
just
that's not going to happen.
I mean, look, I'll say it. He's a bit of a nerd.
Russell Wilson?
Like, he doesn't have the drip. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no. It kind of lessens your franchise's cool factor by 10 points. Just bringing him aboard. I don't care. You're starting him. I don't care if it takes any snaps. You'll be doing a few social media posts, and that's enough to sink the respectability of your franchise.
With the question being, what team do you think should give Russell Wilson another chance? My answer will be, I think no team should give him another chance as a starter.
No. Yeah.
If he's willing to accept a come on in, and if our guy gets hurt, you could be the guy type of role, then okay. If you've got a strong room already that can maybe handle some of the drama that comes with it. But I don't know. I mean,
I'm just not too sure on quarterback rooms right now and where the room is, but
Vaughn is in it, says the Steelers could use him.
Well, yeah. But again, the mentorship question too, I don't know. I wouldn't even want him around.
Double 3A says he's a Brown next season.
Okay, well, there's...
Seems like a very Brownish thing to do, doesn't it? Man, talk about bad deals.
Jasmine says, we know the Colts love washed-up quarterbacks.
Do we think he's starting week 1? Is Russell Wilson starting for a team in week 1 of the upcoming NFL season? I think the answer should be no, but knowing the NFL, I feel like the answer will probably end up being yes.
No. I'll say no.
Stu Pedasso's in and says, do you think Wilson would look good in Vegas?
Well, there's another organization that just never, sure.
I just say, how crazy are these organizations to just see what happened in Denver and be like, yes, our turn.
Mm-hmm. Vegas would be one.
How does that make sense?
The Raiders would be one.
How does that make sense?
Does it feel good being a Lions fan, not included in these wild conversations anymore? Like you're out of that mist of the teams not knowing what to do or doing stupid decisions over and over and over again. You're looking down now, hey?
As I've been saying for a long time, the Detroit Lions do not have a weakness.
Well, it's they run an organization. That's a
few weaknesses.
Well-oiled machine.
But, yeah, that's okay. Belineski says, breaking news, Elks signed Russell Wilson to back up MBT, bumping forward to third string.
God, Iwanek would.
Man, Iwanek's going to lose it. Iwanek will go down, find Chris Jones, and put him in his trunk and take him to the airport. This text is in and says, Russell Wilson starts for the Raiders week 1.
Okay.
I also have a lot of time for the suggestions of him backing up Aaron Rodgers with the Jets.
I'd love that.
Can you imagine the Rodgers and Russ 1-2 punch? Zero drama there.
No.
All season with Russell and Rodgers.
Russ tapping him on the shoulder. A little suggestion what you could do.
Excuse me. What do you think about this?
The real mentor.
That would be weird. That would be weird. Question number 3. Guys, with all this talk about YouTube, Trev, and NHL, do you guys have video game policies around the EST Global Headquarters?
We
have a Nintendo sitting there that people can play.
Policy?
I mean, as long as your work gets done, if you want to game a little bit, I don't care.
Doesn't really work though. That's the only.
Yeah, the Nintendo that Kev dropped off doesn't. I mean, it's a classic Nintendo. Like you put the game in, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I am still on the hunt for a Super Nintendo because I bought that mint Tecmo Super Bowl Super Nintendo game.
Yes.
We just don't have a Super Nintendo to play it in. Now this is probably a bad place to buy a Super Nintendo, but I was at West Edmonton Mall the other day. I popped into that like used gaming store, and they're completely sold out of Super Nintendos. And then I was looking online, and I'm always worried about buying a Super Nintendo online because I'm like, does it actually work?
You're talking Facebook Marketplace here. I got a Sega off of there, and it works
pretty good. Is it pretty good?
Pretty good.
I don't do the Facebook Marketplace. Maybe I need to get into that. My wife does it all the time.
Yes, get Tammy.
We're leaving things on the stoop all the time for people on Facebook Marketplace,
Keep an
especially
eye
in the
out.
spring and summer.
I think you might find what you're looking for. I say we get. Why are we messing around? Let's get the Dreamcast.
Never played Dreamcast.
They had a good. The NFL for Dreamcast was great. I'll say that in that taxi driving game.
I'd still like to eventually follow up on the getting of a full size upright game like we had at the old place.
We've never. There's a little smoke there, right? And then
there's a little smoke, but now the place where we were going to put it's all taken up by all the beers and booze we got kicking around.
Options.
Yeah. I think I'd start with just the Super Nintendo and the TV.
You can build up, yeah.
Which should be a lot of fun. I thought I'd be playing games all the time here, but I'm always so damn busy. There's always things to do.
I just want it so that we have a choice of consoles. That's my dream. We can make it happen.
Like all of them? But you're talking older ones? Like I don't think we're rolling in with the new Xbox.
No. There's a line, but yeah, the retros.
Maybe we could.
You keep winning. I mean, you keep winning. Use that money, and we can parlay and buy some other. I just want the older style games. I want a working Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, maybe a Genesis, maybe an N64. They're not hard to get, and they're cheap.
N64 would be good, but I'm pretty sure EST would probably shut down because all I'd want to do is play GoldenEye all day.
You think so? But
that's it. I don't think I could stay focused enough. Penner's Pancake says, is everyone required to work like a minimum of 40 hours at EST? I'm curious in the whole organizational chart setup here. Well, we don't need to get into that too much, but as long as work gets done, we're pretty happy around here, I think.
ESPN's Greg Wyshynski tweeting out GM Tom Fitzgerald, this of the New Jersey Devils in his media veil right now. I am not shopping Tyler Toffoli.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
What a buzzkill. He was number 2 on my list.
Deadline week with a thud.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Tom Fitzgerald also probably said at some point, I'm going to get a goalie. And he hasn't got a goalie.
Do you believe him?
So can you really Tom Fitzgerald's the guy who gave Lindy Ruff an extension in the fall.
What he's really saying
I'm not talking
is,
about last fall. I'm talking about this fall he gave this guy an extension. So you know what? I'll trust Tom Fitzgerald and Toffoli as far as I can throw him.
Maybe he's not shopping and maybe he's giving him away. Huh?
You think that's what it is?
That's what it is. I'm not shopping. I will be giving him away. Come and get him.
Maybe.
It's code speak.
Guys, get the mini NES and SNES and you can mod them and have as many as you like. The mods. Don't you have to download the mods and put the mods in?
You get those built-in things with like 5,000 games or whatever.
Tom Fitzgerald. I don't think so. Not today, Tom Fitzgerald. Tyler Toffoli will be traded. That's what I believe. This is the old vote of confidence.
The opposite is true.
Man, we love this guy. He's a great coach. See you later.
Just because he's not shopping doesn't mean he's not listening to offers. Bang on, Big Uke. Exactly. That's what he's trying to communicate here.
Right. Jesus says, sounds like he is shopping Toffoli to me. Right? Why? You just trade for Markstrom 2 months ago.
No.
Not to tell the Devils how to GM, but my goodness. Seems like there would have been a path there. Oilers and Bruins, Orange and Blue Breakfast coming up here in about 15 minutes for Mobile One and the Blue Water Group. We'll get to that. Right now, though, we've got Joaquin Gage. Look at him. He might be in the next seat at Red Bull. He might be the guy who replaces Max Verstappen. Gager joins us.
Should be replacing Horner,
for
really.
Pro-Am Sports. Gager, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm good, boys. How's your life?
It's game day. We're having a lot of fun here. So we learned that Trev is a top 50 NHL player in the world.
That is fascinating to hear him talk about strategy with
practice
with the game. Yeah, like trying to take penalties because he's essentially the Guy Carbonneau of penalty killing in esports. It's unbelievable. We might have to stream some get on the Discord or the Twitch and start streaming Trev playing these games.
Yeah.
Maybe a little going back to the United Cup.
That's what I said. Let me broadcast these things. Tammy would not let that fly this time around. She goes, "What are you doing tonight?" "Oh, sorry, Tam, I can't be home to put the kids to bed tonight." "Why?" I said, "Well, YouTube Trev's playing NHL at the office, and I'm going in to broadcast the game."
As you're doing your tie up
that's,
and everything.
That's the end of Edmonton sports talk right there. Like, we could get away with Trev streaming on the YouTube channel. I think it's a good idea. But me having to leave to come in and call every single game would be the final straw for the Nielsen household. I just don't see that one. I don't see that one flying. Well, that's okay. Gager, Bahrain has come and gone, and all hell is breaking loose in Formula One right now. What do you make? And I mean, every single time I go on Twitter, it is just story after story of, the out in his contract is if Marco leaves, Verstappen can leave Red Bull as well. You see some people saying, "No, we won't stop him." What is going on here, Gager, and how much of this is actually legitimate, do you think? I saw a great Photoshop this morning when I got up of George and Max together at Mercedes and Charles and Lewis at Ferrari, and then Checo and just a bunch of random faces at Red Bull trying to figure out what happens there. I just can't see a world where Max isn't with Red Bull when they've been cruising like this.
Old Jos Verstappen, we haven't seen this much parental interference since Lindros's dad in professional sports. I think, Dusty, this is what I've read this morning is he was quite close to the female that's in these allegations.
Yep.
So that is kind of the reason.
Max or his dad?
His dad.
Okay.
Jos was friends with this colleague. So, I mean, looking at the whole weekend in Bahrain, I thought it was very exciting up until the actual race. And then there was some fireworks within, like testing, qualifying was great. Max just tore off. But there was a lot of other things. Now looking at, is Jerry Hollowell going to show up? I love how the F1 community has dubbed this the Car Crashians. So, I mean, maybe this is a way to get more eyes, knowing that Max is just going to dominate for so long. And this is a way of F1 to just keep eyes on it because, Dusty, the funniest thing I think is the fact all these allegations come out about Christian Horner, and episode 2 of Drive to Survive is him in his little castle celebrating Christmas with his family and looking like Father of the Year while all this is going on. So great editing by Netflix. Job well done.
Sheldon S. in the nasty chat says, Max sucks. His car is great. He's the worst thing to happen to F1, which is a pretty fiery take here today. But Gager, what do you think it would be like if, let's just say, next season, let's just say this thing continues to go off the rails. It's actually legitimate. Next season, Lewis is at Ferrari. We know that's happening. Let's put Max in a Mercedes, and let's just say Carlos Sainz ends up, just for other purposes, in that other car at Red Bull. Does Max still win the championship even though he's at Mercedes? Does Checo win the championship because he becomes the focus at Red Bull? Does Lewis in a Ferrari, which looks to be an upgrade on Mercedes, does that end up happening? Like, that would be an unreal year, but how much of it is Max? How much of it is the car at Red Bull, and why would he leave it?
I would say I think it's about 60% Max, 40% car. To tell you the truth, Dusty, because the stopwatch doesn't lie. I mean, yes, is the Red Bull car the greatest piece of engineering on the track for the past few years? Yes, no doubt. But the times between Checo and Max in one lap pace and race pace, if you dive in, and I showed Eric how I get into the nooks and crannies of lap times, Max is just far superior. And seeing him in maybe a little bit inferior car, not too far off the mark, I think would be quite interesting, just because it seems like that that Red Bull car, that's Cinderella. The shoe fits perfectly with Max, and he's just able to dial it in lap after lap after lap. Anyone, I know you talked about F1 TV, and when you go to the helmet cams and watch Max drive compared to maybe just the guy behind him, he's on rails. Like it does look like YouTube Trev playing video games. It's mechanical.
Anytime we mention Trev in NHL, he just shakes his head. He goes, "Oh, guys!" Like it's pretty funny. Joaquin Gage with us on the show this morning. Edmonton Oilers get the Boston Bruins tonight. The Bruins with a win in Toronto last night. The Oilers have won 4 in a row. A part of me thinks like they had that little 500 stretch over a 10-game stretch. I don't know if I'm simplifying it too much, Gager, but I just think their goalies have been playing better as of late. I don't know. I mean, I just look at the goaltending and go, Skinner has really stepped up, and he's still been facing some pretty good chances, but he's been shutting the door.
They've both been phenomenal, I think, Dusty, down this over this last few games. Skinner's, there's going to be little dips in play. I think he's got it back to a spot where he's considered one of the best goalies in the league. You look at that first period in Seattle, first 3 saves were game changers, and then the last 3 were also to preserve the 2 points. He's operating at a very efficient goaltending standard right now that's allowing, I think, the defensive structure of the team to kind of have that faith in their goalie that he's going to make up for if there is a mistake. And you can see their confidence grow a little bit. Redemption tonight, though, Dusty. I look back to that last game in Boston, and if you were probably to ask a lot of the Oilers, it wasn't a great game played by them, right? There was some leaky aspects, and I think it'll be a closer, tighter game tonight. Hopefully they can establish that first period that we saw last game and jump on a team coming home from playing the previous night. I think that would suit them well. Boston's a good team. I can't wait to watch this.
Gager, how would you handle the goaltending over this 4-game trip? Of course, tonight in Boston, they get Columbus Thursday evening. Then you got a tricky back-to-back Saturday morning, 10:30, followed by the Penguins Sunday morning at 11. So how would you kind of lay down the goaltending path during this 4-game roadie?
I think just with the play of the captain Picard there, I think you flip-flop him.
He could get Columbus, right? Yeah. And then you split.
Yeah. Just why not on this? It works out perfectly. Cass laid it out, I think, just like this on 2 guys, Dusty, where this is one of those situations where we were trying to get Pickard 9 games or something. This was that area where we were flip-flopping both Skinner and Calvin to just equal the load, so to speak. And both guys are playing great. Calvin Pickard he's been really impressive to me. Like to come in and hear, I know you try to block out the noise from the outside, but for the first 3 months he gets called up. It's all, when's Campbell coming back? Who are they
trading for?
Who are they trying to get? We need an upgrade. He, with his play, his demeanor, the way he's worked with the team, has completely silenced all that and provided his general manager with the ability to not worry about goaltending. And hopefully by Friday, when I come in there, work the magic and work the phones.
Heard you're taking an Uber in.
Well, we'll see. Maybe Uber Plus. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. You save the receipt for it. Get Uber Comfort, Gager, and join us. Join us here on Friday. As far as Friday goes, in the dreamland for Oilers fans, top 6 winger, bottom 6 forward, upgrade in the top 4 on D. That's great. I mean, you could probably settle for bottom 6 forward, depth defenseman who's a veteran. I mean, that might be what they have to settle for. But if you can only get one of a top 6 forward or an upgrade on CC/Desharnais on the right side that you can lock into your top 4 alongside Darnell Nurse, which angle do you take on it, up front or on the back end?
I go with D, just because but this isn't pushing anyone out. This is adding, right? And hopefully someone that can come up in the lineup. You're looking at 7 very capable defensemen that can play in the league. It would be nice to get a 3-4, yeah, Dusty, but I think it would be more of a. I think Tommy and I talk about we want a Jason Strudwick. We want a guy that is not going to be phased by going in at certain points and just give you reliable minutes that you can play, 10, 15 to 20 minutes a night.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody like that. They mixed up the blue line pairings recently, Gager, like very recently. Kulak and Ceci had that nice game, obviously, against Pittsburgh, and they put Desharnais with Darnell Nurse. What do you think about Nurse and Desharnais as your, I guess technically your second pair into the postseason? Is Desharnais ready for that situation in the postseason?
Well, at first, probably because I'm so ensconced with the Karkrashians that the rumor mill keeps running through and just the conspiracy theories. I felt that this was. Everyone's seen Moneyball when Brad Pitt goes in to talk to I forget the guy's name. The GM of the A's at that point, and telling him who he's going to play. Like Pena's, Pena's not playing first tonight. He's traded, right? So
what a move!
I think this could have been a little bit of Ken Holland going to Noblaw and saying, let's move this around. I want to see what these guys can do, because I'm talking to certain people about possibly bringing in a body that a right wing or a right shot, maybe something that's going to change the dynamic of the defensive pairings. So just wanted to have a look and see if that was possible. That's how I looked at the whole change. It worked out quite well. But again, that was against a Penguins team that was on their last legs. Nobla has usually kept the lineup pretty much the same after a win going into the next game. Let's see if he does it tonight, and let's see if that pairing can defend as well as they did against a slumping Pittsburgh Penguins.
What an all-time move in Moneyball when he goes in and he says, "You can't play Pena at first," and he goes, "Listen, I'm in charge of the lineup. I'm playing Pena at first." Yeah, well, he's been traded. Oh man, that is legendary. What a move! What a movie! I almost watched that.
That is
last
one
night.
movie.
I almost put that on.
That movie. If it's on, I get
know.
sucked in. I got to start watching it. I hate that. So
it's PVR, boys.
It's so good though.
You got a PVR. Get it in your hip pocket.
Yeah.
No, we had a reference earlier today on it. Adapt or die. That's a Moneyball reference. Adapt or die.
Oh,
that's all right. Yeah,
right.
no, that's good. All right, Gager. Well, we'll talk to you later on Two Guys in Goalie, buddy.
You hear this? That's the sound of winning.
There you go. That's a Joaquin Gage. I didn't hear anything. Did you hear anything? Is that what it was? Gage will be back. Two Guys in Goalie today. And Gage and I are going to have to suck it up on Two Guys in Goalie today because Cass is like second and third in the F1 standings right now after a great year last year. And he's already like texting the group and being like, "Look at me, look at me."
Yeah. He won Bahrain. Hey,
I think I have one of my teams is in 7th after the opening weekend, which is pretty good. I think. I don't know. It was pretty much a disaster for me last year on F1 fantasy. Connor McJesus in the nasty chat. Hey, give us a thumbs up if you're watching, and if you're new to our content or just kind of been lazy and you haven't subbed yet to the channel, we would appreciate the sub as we try to work our way up to about 7,200 subs as we work our way to 8, 9, 10,000 and 1 million at some point in the future. Connor McJesus says, get Tarasenko, Dowd, and a depth defenseman. I mean, that would be a very active and really good deadline. I think that'd be a really good deadline.
Check a lot of boxes.
Now, I do worry in the playoffs about a Nurse CC pairing. I also don't think that there's, another Ekholm deal hanging around out there for you.
And we didn't know the Ekholm deal was around last year type of thing, but
there's not going to be an Ekholm trade happening on the back end.
No. But dare to dream.
But how good would this forward group be if you add a Tarasenko type and Dowd on your fourth line? That's really strong, 1 through 12, and then you just hope the blue line kind of holds up in that situation. TV Burkle says Moneyball was a true story. Real life spoiled that thing. Guys, do spoiler alerts apply to based on true story movies? Well, no. Remember the day I learned about it?
What's going on here? What are we just...
The Moneyball is not an exact...
Well,
it's not an exact
for
years I thought, oh, Moneyball, that's exactly what happened, every single aspect of it.
Yeah, Brad Pitt was employed,
and then Maddie one day was just like, they've bent the truth on a few of these things. I was like, what? I thought it was 100% the truth, but some of the movement and stuff is it's not what's led to believe, which is it was a little heartbreaking when I first kind of found out about that. But you can't
ignorance is bliss.
Can't win them all. Saw your DM. Please.
I just
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Ryan is in and says, spoiler alert, they get moved to Vegas. Down the road. That is where they are likely going to be. All right, let's get into the Orange and Blue Breakfast, the Edmonton Oilers and the Boston Bruins tonight. We made it your cool bet hotline of the day a little bit earlier on. Edmonton Oilers money line tonight at -122. I will have the EST parlay put together and dropped on you during the lock shop today, which is 11 to 12 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Boston Bruins, quick turnaround for the Bees as they went into Toronto yesterday. Came away with what? They came away with 2 points. That's what they came away with.
As the Leafs have been hot on their tail. I mean, that was the whole
a big game
narrative last night. The Leafs are hungry. They're hunting them down here.
But that's a classic. Leafs are going to leaf and the Bruins are going to brew it.
I know.
I think the Bruins have now won 6 straight.
It's fun to watch.
Against the Toronto Maple Leafs, which I'm sure is probably going over insanely well today in Toronto.
Yeah.
They'd won 9 of their previous 10. I'm sure everything's calm and cool in Toronto after a loss to the Bruins.
Yeah, had them.
Here's what the Bruins were rolling with last night. We'll see how it continue to sorts itself out today. The Orange and Blue Breakfast, as always, brought to you by Mobile One and Blue Water Lubricants, the Blue Water Group. Founded in 1974. That's a hell of a run. Who do they think they are? William Huff? This is crazy. All these companies that launched in the 70s and still have success today. They are one of Canada's largest independent distributors of mobile branded lubricants. They want to thank everyone for 50 years. Make your vehicle run with Mobile One and lubricate many other things with Blue Water Lubricants. Boston Bruins tonight. Zaka between Pasternak and Heinen. That's what we saw yesterday. Brad Marchand, Charlie Coyle, Jake DeBrusk. A pretty good second line. Geeky with Frederick and JVR, who was stymied on that breakaway last time the Edmonton Oilers played them. Jesper Boquist, Justin Brazeau, and Jakob Lacko, who have been pulling rookie cards up for quite some time in the crack pack. Matt Gresslick, Charlie McAvoy, Mason Lurai, Brandon Carlo, Parker Wotherspoon, Kevin Shattenkirk on the blue line last night.
Shattenkirk, hey?
For the
trade
for
deadlines
the
of
Bruins.
yours back in the day.
Old Shattenkirk.
Made a few big boards back in the day, did he not?
He did.
Yeah,
quite some time there.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the old big board back in the day for sure.
Demers.
Connor McDavid between Hyman and Draisaitl, Nuge with Yamark and Kane, McLeod, Perry, Fogle, Gagne, Connor Brown, Dylan Holloway. Pieces moving around there on the Oilers forward group. We'll see what they end up going with tonight against the Boston Bruins. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Desharnais, Kulak, and Ceci. Playing the Bruins tonight will be a little bit different than playing the banged-up Pittsburgh Penguins on the tail end of 3 and 4. Now the Bruins are going back-to-back here as well. But you roll Kulak and Ceci together again and see how it goes against a better Bruins team?
Yeah, exactly.
A real test here?
If you're experimenting, see what happens against this squad. Now, I do think the Bruins last time they were in Edmonton a few weeks back, they had a few more injuries, a little more banged up. But, yeah, why not? Try it out. See how it goes against a team that's fired up right now and playing some good hockey. This is what you want. This is interesting. I know Gage mentioned, the Oilers, and that's encouraging, is that I don't think they probably played their best when Boston was in town. But the way that game went and the way they held them, I mean, you'd take that over 14 times. I mean, I'd love to watch these two teams go at it in a best of 7 if they were in the same conference, obviously, but
Or Stanley Cup
keep
final,
it together
my man.
and see how it stacks up against this squad tonight.
As for a list of guys who aren't tough enough to play hockey tonight, what are you going with?
Well, I mentioned for the Bruins, Hampus Lindholm on the IR with an undisclosed injury, Matthew Potras and Milan Lucic also on the IR, and for the Oilers, it's pretty clean. Derek Ryan listed as day-to-day this morning with an undisclosed injury.
Tommy Gazzola said on the oil stream yesterday, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, noon, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, even if Ryan can go tonight, he's leaving Gagne in there.
Yeah, okay.
I think so. I mean, penalty kill be damned. I'll just say it. I don't know. When Gagne's in there, this team just seems to
He's there.
be better offensively.
He's
It
the
doesn't make
mascot.
any sense. But
he's the guy.
why would you scratch a guy called Papa Clutch? So you got that going for you.
Moneyball, more like phony ball.
I see that.
Yeah, it's that giant mic coming
Giant
harder.
mic. Moneyball, more like phony ball.
Now, did you know which parts were kind of fabricated and which parts were... You don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
No, okay.
What, do you think I want to see the sausage being made?
Well, you've come this far. I think you'd want the answers.
What is your key to an Oilers victory tonight?
To echo Gage, I mean, this is a team that played an emotional, right, against Toronto in Toronto last night. I mean, that was a big win for them, so maybe catch them going back home with the travel, get up on them early in the first and see what happens. I'm looking forward to this game. I don't, you'll get Allmark tonight. I assume that'll be kind of the case with Swin playing last night, but get on them early, try to get a little pop early and carry that through the rest of the game and use that momentum throughout.
I'm just going to run it back with Hyman again.
Park him in front of the net.
Zach Hyman scores his 43rd goal of the season tonight against the Boston Bruins. Score some greasy ones against the Bees in Beantown, where you got to go to the net. Wicked hard.
Yeah.
And that's what Hyman will do tonight. So I'm going to say Zach Hyman scores another goal tonight. It's not even a hot take anymore at this point because he's been absolutely terrific for this team. So I'm going to say Zach Hyman scores tonight. That'll be my official game day prediction. The Orange and Blue Breakfast today and for every single game brought to you by Mobile One. They're the lubiest in the business. It's that simple. Mobile One, Blue Water Lubricants, bringing you the Orange and Blue Breakfast every single morning. Calgary Glenn. Not often will somebody out of Calgary text in and I go, wow, smart text.
Glenn's a trooper.
But Calgary Glenn's got it. Maybe Tom Fitzgerald isn't shopping Tyler Toffoli because he's already got a deal in place with Ken Holland to announce on Friday at 10:30 a.m. during the hangout. Right? I'm not shopping Tyler Toffoli. Well, why is he not shopping Tyler Toffoli? It's because Kenny Holland's already got him locked up for a second, and that's it.
We said it's the dream scenario during the hangout. Maddie gets a bit to talk about what might happen. Something happens. He's got the rest of the show to knock it down, and it's the Toffoli deal. And it's all just waiting.
Carries you over into the special Oil Stream deadline show.
Perfect.
That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. 780-218-9999. Brian, the accountant, is in and says, guys, I really recommend reading the book. It's even better than the Moneyball movie. Look, of course an accountant would suggest we read the book.
Of Moneyball.
I don't read books. And yeah, are we talking like the original Moneyball book, or are we talking about like a
fiction or nonfiction?
Well, that's what I want to know. Is
there an actual account? Yeah.
Is there we know like Moneyball, the book, and
the movie,
but is there a book that is the same as the movie too? Why would I read a book when the movie's there?
I want the Shapiro angle. He's got to write a tell-all. Really lay down the facts.
There's got to be something in there as well. Donnie M texts in today and says, are you saying draft day isn't real too?
Well,
obviously draft
don't
day
go down this rabbit hole. You might don't meet your heroes, right?
You see trades like that happen all the time. I could watch draft day and Moneyball on a loop. Just one and then back to the other. I would say probably for 10 straight days. That's my challenge.
Yeah.
Dusty watches Moneyball and then draft day and then Moneyball again for 10 straight days. I do nothing else.
Mix in a Tombstone to cleanse that palate, maybe?
Nope.
Okay.
I'd love to. I'd love to, like on Tuesday, it'd be like Tuesday at noon, though, he gets to watch Tombstone, and that's right back to the other ones. But no, that's the challenge. All I do for 10 straight days is alternate back and forth between Moneyball and draft day. No phone. no computer, just me and a television and 2 of the best sports movies of all time.
And a popcorn machine.
And, a popcorn machine, obviously.
Seal it all off.
Yeah. And various size bags of Maltesers. And I do that, and I'm good to go. That's good. All right, let's get into the wrap today for William Huff. They've been doing it since 1972. That's why our place looks so good. Bruce and his team, Bruce and the dream team at William Huff, they'll take care of you. WilliamHuff.com. You can hop online. You can see everything that they do. A bunch of examples of the good looks that they've put out on various different places around the city, around the province. Dare I say, around the world.
Wrapping the world.
That's good. William Huff. Wrapping the world. That's almost as good as EM Utility Locating. Don't kill yourself. Or Mobile One. The lubiest in the city. Damn, that's good.
Is it? Yeah,
it's so good.
I don't think it is. Is it a V8 or V12?
I don't know the difference between V6s and 8s and 12s.
We were listening to the
16s.
engines. Maddie had the. Me, him, and Gage were listening to different engines. The other, and Gage was loving
Sounds like something Gager would be really excited about. Yeah,
you had to be there.
Gager loves that scene in Gone in 60 Seconds when they're using the engine power to blow away the cocaine at the back of the car.
Yes.
All right, this classic Nick Cage movie. This is a great one. All right, what'd you learn on the show today, buddy?
Tyler Toffoli is not being shopped.
I says, pardon?
Well, deal with that how you will.
And
it's all
I
in
said
the phrasing,
Tom
right?
Fitzgerald's a fraud. Tom Fitzgerald's a fraud. Don't tell me.
I want Wyshynski to quote that.
Here's a good idea. Fire your coach. Don't trade any of your assets moving forward. Waste the rest of your season, and then come back next year without a goalie again. Great idea. Well done, Tom Fitzgerald. How can you trust what Tom Fitzgerald says when he gave Lindy Ruff an extension in the fall? And now, boom, he's fired him 5 months later and still hasn't delivered Markstrom.
Wyshynski's got a few other tweets adding to this. GM Tom Fitzgerald says he isn't shopping Toffoli, but teams are calling. They talked extension with him, but there's a possible term difference. Term, man.
I love the term.
Could revisit after deadline. Also could trade him before Friday's deadline. So, bam, 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 we're back at Fitzgerald said he won't give away his leading scorer just to gain future assets, air quotes, but those assets, quote, could help us down the road. Also a factor, he said trading Toffoli is basically admitting to the locker room that you're throwing in the towel on the season.
You threw the towel in on the season when you didn't acquire a goalie for 5 bloody months.
You canned your coach.
Don't tell me the Toffoli thing's throwing the towel in on the season. Have you seen your netminders? Come on. Why am I getting so fired up about Tom Fitzgerald?
It is. He is lighting it up.
This makes no sense to me. None. At all. But with that being said, deadline week is probably really difficult to be an insider. But I also feel like anybody can kind of be an insider this week because you just go, hearing speculation, sensing this, sensing that. We could say right now, we could come up with something and then you just put the caveat on the end of it. It could or could not happen by Friday. Thanks, tips. Of course. Go look at all of the different tweets. And I'm not singling out any. This is just how the hockey industry operates for the next 4 days. It's like you throw this out there, and then at the end you go, it may or may not happen by Friday. And then when it doesn't happen, somebody goes, well, you said that this was going to happen. I said it may or may not happen by Friday. It's a real cop-out week. It really is.
More breadcrumbs than large Caesar salad or croutons.
More breadcrumbs than after you've had a panino from the Italian center shop.
Boom.
That's a good. All right, let's get into your sound of the day today. I'm going to run it back to the Charge Anthem again. Why not? It is the 5th day
we're cruising.
Of Chin Strap Awareness Month. Let's go.
Somebody once told me that I had got to grow the facial hair that make me look fine. He was looking super cool. The ladies, man, how they drool at the shape of a U on his jawline. Well, you look amazing cause you just stopped shaving. The chicks line up so you're always dating. Doesn't make sense to have a full beard. You think it looks cool but it just looks weird. So much to do, so much to win. So grow it ear to ear around your chin. You'll never know if it will grow. So don't shave and just let it go. Hey now, grow a chin strap, get that hair on your face. Hey now, grow a chin strap, coolest dude in the place. And now that we are in March, let's all come together and celebrate Charge. It's a cool look, and as you get older, your chin stays warm and your life gets bolder. Hashtag Charge if you're on Twitter. Nelson had a chin strap in his wedding pictures. If you...
What? What's that about?
It's the Bundesliga again. They're coming for Charge.
Bundesliga's done it again. The Bundesliga.
That's it? I thought it just skipped. It's not playing at all?
They've done it again.
Is it done?
It just skipped. It just stopped. It won't even play. It won't even play. What is that about? What? Yeah, it worked, Trev.
No.
No! Now what am I supposed to do?
I can remember back being an 11-year-old kid about 75 pounds on the basketball court against a neighborhood bully, kicking his behind left, right, and center. And when it was all said and done, he was a little bit upset, so he punched me in the mouth. My uncles were over on the side observing, talking amongst themselves adult things. When he punched me in the mouth, I decided I'm running to my uncle. You know what he did? He pushed me back to him. I went back, he punched me in my mouth again. I ran to my uncle, looking for protection. Needing Big Bro to protect me. He pushed me back again. And you know what I did? I faced him in the eye. And I said, my uncle's not going to help me. So I punched him in the face. And then I looked him in the eye and I said, then what? Now what? Now what? Now what are you going to do? You're simply the best.
Yeah, baby. Cavis Reed pump-up song is back unless Bundesliga has something to say about it.
The full song. Cavis will not be denied.
Brought to you by Sportball. All the Nielsen Show songs brought to you by Sportball. Get your kids ready for those summer programs. Visit sportball.ca to see everything they're offering up this summer. Text of the day today. This one came in a little bit earlier on when we were talking about, for the first time ever, Edmonton Sports Talk yesterday had our video taken down very briefly. And it's because we played a Bundesliga video.
No sound.
No sound.
But it's nice that they gave you the option. Like, hey, this is what's happening.
Yeah, you just trim it out. It goes back up.
Yeah.
No big deal in the end. The Comb Drew is going to win text of the day today for A&W, where the spicy piri piri buddies available for just a limited time only. You got to move quick on these. Spicy piri piri sauce, the lettuce, the tomato, the onion. Served on your choice chicken patty, beef patty, hash brown patty. So many choices. Just $3.99. What a deal. Bundesliga. More like Bundesliga. That'll be your text of the day today for A&W. Congratulations, Lacombe Drew.
Lacombe Drew.
Lacombe Drew. We saw him a couple weeks ago.
He is a cerebral in his texting.
Yeah, there you go. That's a very nice text. Very nice text for text of the day. Matthew Armstrong says, checking in from Mount Poconos, PA. Put that on the list here.
Put it on the map.
We put Tombstone on the list yesterday.
Sure did.
That was nice. Somebody texted in they were listening in Tombstone, so that was good. Poconos. That's I'm off to the Poconos.
Is that what it is? Hey?
I think is that it?
I
didn't know the Poconos was a mountain
in Pennsylvania, though.
I thought the Poconos was like in Florida or something. This might be a different Poconos.
Could be a lot of Poconos, like poking a nose. Is that how it's spelled? I don't even know.
Poconos. Apparently, according to
Poconos.
According to Poconos, you think that's what it is? It's not the Poconos. It's got to be the Poconos.
Maybe the S is silent.
Has to be, I think. All right, what are you watching tonight? I'll be rewatching the Lakers and the Thunder because that was a big win for the Lakers yesterday. They're in a really tough part of their schedule right now. And I was a little bit worried about that game, but that was one of the best games the Lakers have played all season. SGA, the Canadian kid, held to just 20 points last night. It was very surprising. So
I will be hoping that Matt Iwanek before the hangout can get the Briar on. If Matty could get the Briar on.
You don't know how to get the Briar on?
Well, no, I don't want to. You help?
No, I don't know how.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He had it on the other day. I just like because there are some Carruthers and Schneider right now. Manitoba, British Columbia tied at 3.
Oh,
Carruthers undefeated there.
Yeah, what a start for Carruthers.
Northern Ontario, this Bonneau rink 3-1. They're up 2-1 on the Ontario Howard rink. Anyways, I'll be watching Draw 11 this afternoon, 1 o'clock. Hopefully the feature matchup is Saskatchewan 3-1 up against Alberta Sluchinski rink 2-2. I'll have that going on. I'll have Lazio and Bayern, Champions League. Bayern, of course, from the Bundesliga.
The Bundesliga.
They need a win. They're down 1-0 going home in leg 2 of that Champions League knockout game, so that'll be on as well. And then tonight, of course, Oilers Bruins amid some other things. NBA jam-packed schedule tonight. Raptors back on the court. Celtics Cavs in a tidy Eastern matchup as well. Suns Nuggets if you're watching out west in the late one. So a full slate. A full
Oilers
plate.
Bruins tonight, 4 o'clock pregame with Tommy Gazzola. Tommy Gazzola's here, ready to go. Derek Van Diest does a great job covering the Oilers. He's going to be on the hangout today as well with Matt Iwanek and Tommy G. I have a feeling there'll be some Oilers deadline day talk coming up on the hangout.
Just
so if you've been watching on YouTube today, make sure you turn on autoplay and the channel will just direct you right on over to the hangout and you can stick around and watch. If you're listening on TuneIn or EdmontonSportsTalk.com or on our new partners with our new iHeart channel, you get a little dose of Whale and the Wolf and then the hangout will begin.
Hey,
and tell your friends how easy it is to listen to all of our content.
Happy Halud.
Yeah. Halud.
Because you learned it.
Halud.
Halud.
I guess that's what we're going with there. That's what we're going with. Congratulations to the Oracle. YouTube, Trev.
Trevoracle?
The Chell Oracle.
I love it.
Trevoracle,
your gaming yeah, the Trevoracle.
Pretty good, actually.
The Trevoracle.
Sounds like a heart muscle.
I like it.
The Trevoracle is pretty good. It does sound like
my Trevoracle is clogged.
Somebody else. Let's wrap up with this text right here. Poconos. More like Poke yes. That's how the show ends today. That's it right there. Oilers Bruins tonight. Tommy have pre and post tonight. I'll be back with 2 guys and goalie with Cass and Gager at noon. Lock shop at 11 today. Big slate in the NHL tonight. We'll set that bad boy up. For Trevoracle and Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielson. Thank you very much for watching. Tell your friends about Edmonton Sports Talk. Have a great day. Enjoy the game tonight and take it easy.